dinosaur races?
No. It instantly, like, I turned that on. I was like, nope, turning it right back off.
The Eurobeat? You don't like the Eurobeat? Come on, man.
I instantly was
Confirmed.
like, I am aggravated by this music. Just,
Confirmed. Imp hates fun.
I'm all right with that. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing okay. Apparently, I'm not centered in the camera thingy, which is kind of funny.
Scoot your chair over.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I forgot. I needed to zoom
Goodbye,
out
everybody.
a little
It was
bit.
fun being in the show with you. Goodbye.
I needed to zoom out a
Spooner
little bit.
will be replaced by an equally as talented green screen.
Man, it's not even a chair stream. It's a screen stream.
Screen stream. For a minute, I thought I was gonna be late, and I shit you not, I cut out like just a smiley face, and I put it here, and I tested it just to like have it there for the video check. Oh, but I'm here.
So, I got a 2-pound bag of candy corn today, and I am happy. I know Imp says it's the worst candy ever, but he's wrong.
It's flavored wax. It's terrible. Like
Imp, you're probably
It is flavored wax.
You're probably somebody who likes pineapple on pizza.
I do. Pineapple goes on pizza.
There
It
you
does,
go.
absolutely.
Guys, no.
Okay, so
Guys.
wait. What do you guys think about those little red cinnamon hearts that you usually get around like Valentine's?
Oh, those are so nasty.
Mm-mm.
You don't like those things?
I mean, I like cinnamon stuff, but I don't like those in particular.
That's
Wax
like
fit
too
flavored
much
pizza.
cinnamon.
Okay, well, I had the
Right.
craving for those once, so
They're-
naturally I turned to the internet, and
Why would
I
you do
ordered some. I ordered a bag of 1,000, which sounds like a lot, and it is a lot.
I have a little bit
How
of a
many do you
craving.
still
I have
have
a
years
craving.
later?
I'll take 1,000.
Well, okay, here's the thing. They messed up my order, and instead of sending me 1,000, they sent me 10,000.
So you still have 9,999 of them?
I cannot unload those things on anybody.
Dude, bring them to
Nobody wants
TwitchCon. I'll
them.
take them.
Bring them
I'll
to
take 'em.
TwitchCon. Yeah, man. We'll either throw them at people or we'll eat them, one or the other.
Dude, that could be
Wait
one of the
till
things
Valentine's Day.
that's one of the things you can give away to people who attend the get together for like Hunter stream. Just give them like the cinnamon candy.
Pelt them with cinnamon hearts.
Give them to Hunter and have one of his menu things be like drop it into a glass of fire cider and then
Now there's an idea.
Oh man. Okay. No, I have to like advise against that, seeing as I tried some hot sauce and candy corn and that wasn't fun.
No.
Okay,
see, now
yeah,
you
but
took it-
you
took it
didn't
to
do
another
that for money. So
Oh no. I did that all out of my own insanity.
Or you
So-
just ain't right.
before we get started tonight, I should say hi to everybody. This is a thing that I need to start doing, I think, just to do it. Saying hi to the people in chat, because I don't think we do that, and that's something we should do. Especially those of you that are like hanging out and listening to ridiculous theme music before we get started. Well, it wasn't ridiculous. It was Jurassic Park tonight because
Damn
that
straight.
felt appropriate. But other times it's been ridiculous. So, Alicorn Roller 300, Time Wizard, Deadshot Gaming. I thought I saw other people in there, but that's all I'm seeing at the moment. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for joining us tonight. Yeah, I should do that more often. But yeah, how's everybody's week?
Oh,
What did you get?
what did I do this week? I killed people on Tuesday.
Like you do.
Like I do. We played. God, what did we play on Wednesday? What game are we on right now?
All flesh must be eaten. Yeah.
And then it's just been nothing but Divinity Original Sin 2. Still doing that with the murder hobos. And I started a Fallout 4 playthrough.
Finally.
I've already beaten the game once.
No,
but
but I mean finally, as in
yeah.
after the 50 billion year,
yeah,
84 years of install.
and yeah, after the 84 years of install that I had to do, but I thought I was going to have a bad time with it until I was going through the character creator, and Captain Spiffy pointed out that one of the hairstyles is just flat out Tommy Wiseau. So
It is.
I took that hairstyle, made it black, and just made the character to be Tommy Wiseau. So now the writing and the voice acting are so much better because I just imagine that it was produced by him.
I wanted to like Fallout 4, and that's all I'm
It was
going to say
alright.
about it.
It was alright.
I
You
wanted
wanted
to
to
like
like
it,
was
and
alright.
then
It was okay.
please go save another settlement. Please go save. Like, fuck you, Preston.
It's Bethesda, man. Bethesda. It was. Hey, look, man. It was. I can't bash it because if it wasn't for Fallout 4, my channel would like have 2 followers, right? But it was Skyrim, but with Fallout.
Yeah.
That's exactly. They were like, Skyrim was the greatest. Let's re-release it 500 billion times. And you know what would be another good idea? Fucking Fallout. Skyrim Fallout. So that's exactly what it was.
I heard that Skyrim's coming out on the N64 next month.
Dude, on the
buy
PlayStation
it.
5, Skyrim Ultimate Mega Edition, fucking with all the Hyper VR DLC. What are you talking about?
I'd buy it.
I have
somebody's
a
gonna-
ridiculous number of hours in Skyrim, but at the same time, like, okay, enough. Bethesda, please
Right,
go make something new.
Dude, I gotta somehow figure out how to be not so blurry on the stream.
Yeah, I think it's because I just scale everybody's cameras up to get them to fit
That's-
into the windows.
That's exactly why. Because
Like-
if you look on the Zoom dealing, we're all
Mhm.
crisp and nice.
Yeah.
That we turn into like yellow furry blobs.
You know what? You should use XSplit for this.
I don't want to pay for it. I'm cheap.
You can use my license.
We'll talk about that off camera. Like, let's not get any official recordings of any agreements to anything there.
Super meta.
So, Spooner, what'd you do this week?
This week?
Yeah, we didn't see you on Wednesday.
That's right.
So-
I saw you guys on Wednesday. I was a little bit jealous. I was just like, that dude's in my spot. I was like, man, I like Speedy. He seems like a nice guy. Dude's totally my spot. I'm gonna have to find a way to subvert the dude. I'm gonna have to subvert him somehow and be like, oh, you couldn't make it. You need a pinch hitter for Wednesday. But no, I had a pretty okay week. I mean, Friday was complete and utter garbage. But other than that, no, man, I've had a pretty good week. Battle Chasers is legit fun.
Battle Chasers is a ton of fun. I've been putting ridiculous amounts of hours into that, and
It's
so
like
much
it's
fun.
art the game, but if you really enjoyed like old school turn-based RPG stuff,
Yeah, if you like Final Fantasy or Chrono Trigger or anything in that vein, like go pick up Battle Chasers.
Speaking of Chrono Trigger, have any of you played I Am Setsuna?
no, but I heard really goddamn good things,
Yeah.
dude.
I need to go back and actually play through it, not just an hour of it.
Oh my god, Deadshot's right.
Oh, he is, because the cameras are stupid.
I'm
Apparently,
mad.
Zoom doesn't keep you in your places.
Yo.
So whenever you guys came in at different order, it apparently
Oh,
puts,
oh man, I want it to be tall. God damn it.
there you go.
Well, apparently I'm tall as well. So.
Oh,
Yeah, you're tall as
I'm gonna
fuck.
blame Zoom and
Rotated.
Tallest
getting
woman
used to
in the
new
world.
softwares. That's why.
Fox, dude. Oh my god, dude! Hey, can you record this and do like a Brady Bunch skit with the cases moving around?
Yeah, that
Okay.
Rune, that's my thought on Battle Chasers as well. The combat's not very deep. It's
No.
super like press E to win kind of combat sometimes, but that's all right
Overwatch?
because that just lets me like pull up
Press
a
E.
movie or something and watch that while I play.
So I agreed to it beforehand, and I'm going to count this as a botch because of it. So I got to take a drink of hot sauce.
No, I'm not I am not participating in this. Whatever tomfoolery, freaking Rojan's blood is made out of freaking Tapatio or some shit.
My blood is made of fire.
Jesus.
HP Fox, what'd you get up to this week?
Oh, Jesus. I don't even know. It's been a very, very long, like 48 hours. I didn't even get to bed this morning until about 11 o'clock, and then I had to get up at 1 o'clock to do a whole bunch of shit. And I sat down at my desk at 6 o'clock for the show. That was the first opportunity I had to sit down, and it's just been a huge mess. But I finally have a better internet connection again. So
Hey,
I can actually do stuff on the internet now. So that's nice.
things on the internet are important.
Very important,
Um,
especially when it makes you money.
Yeah. The show wouldn't be here without things on the internet, so thank you things on the internet. Max, what'd you get up to this week?
I've
Contain yourself.
been playing Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Was that the first remake? I
No,
guess not
Tomb
remake.
Raider was the first super pretty sexy remake.
Yeah.
Rise of the Tomb Raider, I think, is like the chapter just before that. I don't know where this falls in the story. But
Yeah, they released them in weird orders.
They do, and it's amazing. But no, I've been playing that one out, and I'm just sitting here like the whole time, like every time like this person shows up, I'm just like,
I
and
don't
then,
trust you.
and then like 2 minutes into the scene, I'm like, I fucking do it, and I break things, throw controllers across the room. I was like, stop being predictable. And then I meet the next person. I'm just sitting here like, it's sad.
Right on.
But I like it. I'm a little disappointed with how kind of quasi predictable some of the characters are, but I'm still loving the storyline.
Nice. Let's see. Did anybody go see Tomb Raider? Or not Tomb Raider, damn it. Blade Runner yet?
I really, really, really freaking want to.
I don't watch movies anymore.
It's on my list.
So the first one is one of those movies that's just an absolute staple for me and one of my favorite movies. And I was really worried that this one was going to be super actiony because that's the way that like the trailer comes across. It's
But it
not.
wasn't good.
No, it's got a nice slow pacing and every single frame of that movie is beautiful. Like they did an amazing job. So if you haven't gone and seen it, go see it. It's fucking beautiful.
Dude, I am so happy to hear you say that because that Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner, is like one of my very, very few sacred cows when it comes to film. And when they announced this one, I was like, it's got Harrison Ford, it's got the 30-year continuity, so it's kind of like the way a sequel should be, you know, not just a whole bunch of brand new people. But
so I will say this about the story and about the plot, and it'll still be spoiler free, but I feel like they could have done this as a movie set in the Blade Runner universe without the inclusion of Deckard or any of the previous characters. They're in there and they move the story along, but like really you could have done the movie without them and it still would have been okay.
all right.
So, is it a good standalone movie? Like, if you haven't seen the first one, could you watch this one and still know what's happening and really enjoy it?
For the most part, yeah. There's some little things that tie back to the first movie, and they kind of cover them in the movie. So if you haven't seen the original, then you're not going to miss much. You're just not going to be as familiar with some of the characters and relationships as you would have been.
That's good.
But yeah, so it was an amazing movie. And like I got done with it, and it was like 2 o'clock, it was about 2 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, can I go watch that again? Is the theater still showing it? They were not. But I thought about it. But yeah, D&D. Where I think we play that tonight, right? That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the rumor. Imp.
Yeah.
Should probably talk about the new emote.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Mags did us a favor, and we have a beautiful Dungeon 1, I hate that prefix, lewd emote now for the $10 sub that she did for us. I would show it to you, but I don't have it because I'm a scrub. Rojan does, though. I'm sure I'll pick it up at some point. But so thank you, Mags, for our new emote. If you guys stream and need emotes done, go talk to that lady down there for those because it looks fantastic.
Such a
Somebody's
hurry.
wearing motorcycles again?
Dude's in
what's
such a
going on.
hurry, man.
Fucking Transformers, dude. I'm sorry. It's like 80 degrees here, so I got to have my windows open.
No
so
worries.
Transformers.
But yeah, thank you, Mags, for that. And before we get started, we have a giveaway going on. You have like just over a week left in it. If you haven't gotten in on it already, exclamation point giveaway for a collector's edition of the Blades in the Dark. And there's a bar down there for generating money to cover hotels at TwitchCon. Or you can come back and donate on Tuesdays and fuck with all the people in the Tuesday game. There's a nice little menu of suffering for them. That is for the Tuesday game, not for this game. But yeah, go drop beholders on them at unsuspecting moments.
Dat boy beholder.
I have no idea who did that.
Oh shit! Is that boy?
Hey,
Holders, while
to be fair, that donation got us a Hellfire infused owlbear.
It did. It was a lot of fun.
Owlbear warlock, by the way.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. But yeah, so we played D&D tonight, and so that's what we're going to get into. You guys are at the beginning of the Tomb of Annihilation adventure, and you've just arrived. We left off last week. You had a nice, eventful voyage from Baldur's Gate to Port Naranzayu. Excuse me.
Yeah.
And we ended the episode last week with you guys arriving in Port Naranzayu. And this city is unlike
Thank you.
cities that you are used to seeing. So cities in like Baldur's Gate or Neverwinter, in the areas of Faerun that you're used to, are big medieval cities, castles and keeps. Port Naranzayu is much different than that. So it's colorful. It's got the buildings are painted bright colors. If you've ever been to southern Florida, then you have an idea of kind of what this looks like. Buildings are pink and yellow and greens and blues, and they're just bright colors. There are smells that you're not used to. Just the smell of spices kind of runs through the streets of the city. And everywhere that you kind of walk, you're getting brushed by merchants and by children playing in the streets and by dinosaurs that are being used as pack animals throughout the city. So you guys have just kind of deboarded the Floundering Cobalt, which was your ship across the seas. And I've given you kind of a marked an X on the map and where you guys are. Deporting is not the right word. Deboarding.
Embarking.
Making port, yeah.
Yeah, where your ship has made port. And you guys have been told that you've been given your quest by the captain of the Floundering Cobalt, Captain Sharkbait, and her crew. But she's not really given you any direction. She's just kind of she shanghaied you all and said, "Hey, I need your help. I'm dropping you off here, and this is what I need." But other than that, she hasn't really given you guys any direction. So you find yourselves in this new city, knowing that somewhere out there in Chult is something that is causing everyone. That is causing the death curse, which is affecting everyone that's ever been raised from the dead, and making it so that people can no longer be raised from the dead.
Wait, so
Rude.
we landed in the port, and she pretty much just was like, "Do the thing."
Yep.
Bye. Have a great time.
Where did she go? Did she just start sailing off again?
Yeah, she sailed off, and to your assumption, she's going to find more adventurers to Shanghai and bring back, because you were not the first group she's done this to.
I look over at Cress, is like, do you ever wonder why, or did you ever wonder if the reason why so many adventurers fail her mission is she never tells them where to start?
I stopped trying to figure out the logic of the people of this world a long time ago.
Then why do you write in books?
It's interesting.
Maybe they'll learn from his logic.
No, they won't.
One can help.
Well, I'm open to ideas on where to start.
We could try the bar.
Rumors flow in bars.
That is a good point.
I might also suggest the barracks for any sort of town guard that this place might have. They're usually helpful. Unless you're a criminal. And then he's going to kind of glance at Javaria.
Never been caught, sir.
And to be
Still
fair,
a criminal.
she technically isn't a criminal here. I mean, yet.
Clean slate.
Once a criminal, always a criminal.
Now,
I'm just gonna look him up and down like
Crest,
Okay, I see how
that's a
this-
rather defeatist attitude that you have. People can change.
I didn't say there was anything wrong with being a criminal.
I take it that this
guys.
this conversation about Javaria being a criminal is happening as we're walking down the dock.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
She is kind of teeing off away from you. Says, screw you guys. I'm gonna go find an apothecary.
So where are we going, fearless leader?
Oh yeah, we never discussed who the de facto leader of the group is, have we?
Gonna let you guys figure that out.
Okay, you pointing at the camera really doesn't help when there are three of us who can see
Hold
that.
on, I gotta orient myself.
Chat is the leader.
That guy.
I think you're pointing at me, Spooner.
No. Nope.
Wait, are you pointing at me?
Yes.
Oh,
work?
you guys are okay. You guys are screwed. By the
You're
way,
the healer. What the hell? Like, gotta keep you happy. Like, you made sure Impius didn't kill me last Sunday, so like,
Well,
I am in your debt.
For now, you may be regretting that soon.
Guys, don't throw
All right.
under the bus.
oh no, throw me under the bus.
Unless that's his fetish.
Okay, so let's just head on into town and get our bearings, see what we're dealing with here, and then we can decide where to go from there.
all right. So you guys are coming off the dock as this conversation is going on. And I need to find the thing that I'm looking for. And kind of right in front of you is this dry dock maintenance area for ships. So you see a couple of large vessels that have been pulled up out of the water on these like massive chains and dragged up into a working area. And so you can hear workers that are kind of patching hulls, fixing holes in the ships, resetting masts, and tailoring sails. And that's kind of this giant building. It's enclosed in walls ahead of you, other than where they're dragging the ships out from the port into the buildings to begin the repairs. Other than that, the streets are cobblestone and crowded. Dinosaurs and merchants and people are just packed and going about their business. You see merchants that have blankets thrown out onto the sidewalks with their wares displayed, and then you have other merchants that have full stalls. And then down in the distance, you can see this giant tent that has a couple of wings on it, and people that have stalls set up in them. And then above you, there are hills that rise up in the city, and you can see walled palaces on top of these hills, and bridges that allow passage between them.
Okay. You're talking about the blue roof thing?
The blue roof is that's the bazaar. So that's the where there's some shopping and some stalls set up. The buildings kind of here are the ones up on the hill.
Okay. I'm just trying to learn the topography here.
Yeah.
Do any of us have a map of this port town of Nyan?
You do not have a map of Port Naranzayu. You do have a map of Cholt.
Oh,
I
okay.
have a map. And I walked off.
That reminds me. Wait, you walked off?
He made me mad.
Can you come back? I have your contract. I want to give them to you. By the way, I need to give the contracts to
People.
oh my god, I need to give the contracts to Lexus and Crest
Those people.
and Javaria. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just not say a word, just open up a pack, give one to Lexus and give one to Crest, and then hold one up for Javaria and just kind of put it back in my pack.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take that out of my inventory. You guys should totally add a Captain Sharkbait contract to your thing.
Official Captain Sharkbait contract.
Yeah, it's how we get paid. Otherwise, we don't get paid.
So Max, you headed down the ramp to the city first ahead of everybody. It sounds like you just kind of walked off.
Yeah, their whole once a thief, always a thief crook person. I'm just like, screw you guys. I'm gonna do something productive. And I'm walking around looking for an apothecary dog. Will you stop drooling on my hand?
An
Ew.
apothecary dog.
That drools on our hand.
So you're probably going to make your way to the bazaar then, since that's kind of where all the shops are set up and where everything's kind of going. And you see one of the shops has like the curtains pulled, except they're open a little bit, but it's covered. You know, it's still inviting, but it's just kind of the way that this is set up, where most of the stalls are like open air stalls. This one's just kind of actually got walls and a flap for a door set up, and a little sign hanging above it called the Drooling Dog. And it's the Drooling Dog Apothecary.
Topical.
Good job, Shiloh. You ruined my life.
Typical cat.
She's just looking. Stop. Seriously, stop. So she's looking up at the sign, just like, that is disgusting. She's.
God damn it. Hang on. So, before we get... thank you, Deadshot. So, Zoom doesn't keep you in the same place that you're supposed to be in.
Who am I
fixed it
this
on
time?
the other one.
Who am I?
You're the same people you were last time. So, at least relative to everything.
Yeah, I mean, at least I have creative talent. I have artistic talent now.
So, this is something I need to keep in mind
Thank you.
for future... Before we go live, like let me fix that. So
I'm an Amazonian war princess.
But let's be fair, Mags. Nobody wants to be a 6'7" ginger.
pro streams,
Fuck
guys.
you, I do.
Okay, there we go. Thank you, Deadshot. So I completely lost track.
Drooling
So Mags
dog.
was going into the
Oh, that's
apothecary made out of dog spit.
Mags is going into the Drooling Dog Apothecary. What are you looking for?
I was going to ask said apothecary, since usually that's where you get your bits and bobs and medications and everything ground together for curatives, and seeing what they know about the complications of what's been happening around here.
All right. So the person, I guess the person running the Drooling Dog, as you walk in, they kind of squint back from the sunlight that pours into the tent, and it's like, please, close the curtain.
Kajitas.
He says, yes, how can I be of assistance?
I have questions. You have answers, I trust.
Maybe. What questions you have?
This country has a sickness, yes?
He nods, and he's a Choltean, which it looks like a normal human, except their skins are darker, just kind of than what you would expect from like Baldur's Gate or something from the sun and from the atmosphere.
Okay. If you have coin, basically, yes. And I take it no improvements have been made on the situation.
No, there are some here who say that that death has finally come to claim us all, but there is rumor of an alternate.
And if you don't mind I ask, what is this rumor?
There is a woman, I do not know where she is. I only know her by reputation, called, goddamn, whoever wrote this, Nane Poo Poo. I swear to God, that's the name.
Say it again.
What is the name?
It is Nanny Poo Poo. It's N-A-N-N-Y space P-U-P-U. I swear to God.
I have a feeling they just wrote that in to fuck with DMs.
I
Well,
am so happy that's the name.
one of the writers for this adventure is the head writer from Adventure Time, so it doesn't surprise me at all.
Oh, that's the best.
Uh,
Oh, that's the best.
uh,
I'm like, we're all 13, but I don't give a damn. That is the best to hear, just to hear.
Apparently, so is Javari, because all you see is like one ear flick back and her lip curl. Like, I'm not gonna laugh. I'm not gonna laugh. I'm not gonna laugh.
and the merchant sees your expression change, and he nods, and he says, "Best to get it all out now. Not a woman, if her reputation is correct, that you would want to laugh in front of."
It's like, no, I'll be fine.
But
But if I'm taking my group with me, I should let them get it out of their system. So, please continue.
rumor has it that, while not exactly the remedy that most people look for, Nene Popo has the ability to bring the dead back as a zombie, but with their traits and memories intact.
And she just has this look on her face like, that's not the same thing. This sounds hokey as fuck. Look on her face.
I only tell you stories I hear.
I'm gonna try really
I have
hard
to close chat. You guys are fucking killing me. Turning laptop away. And where can I find her? She's refusing to say her name out loud. She's gonna lose it.
He says, I do not know. These are just stories. I hear a name. I hear abilities. I do not go seeking such people
Understandable.
for hopes that I shall never need them.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
He nods. Is it you buy wares?
I have coin. What do you got?
What are you looking for? He's got basically this setup of just mortars and pestles with ground herbs and spices in them. And he's got, you can see like bone dust and all these other kind of really what you would normally expect. And then some sort of concoction, like words that you're like, I'm not even sure what the hell that is, if that's a word or a thing. He says, here, you take this ointment. Is good for keeping your skin from turning red, yes?
She kind of looks herself over, like she's coated head to toe in fur, and she's like, I think I will take my chances.
Would not want nose to get burnt. He says, here, you take, you buy. Information is not free.
Both her ears just kind of go back, and you can just see her kind of like, yeah, hoodwinked me kind of look on her face. Like, how much?
He says, will be 3 gold.
It's a bit of a ripoff.
A little bit of a ripoff, considering I'm only keep getting ointment from my nose.
You want I should call guards?
2.
2 is fine.
And I throw him 2 gold coins, and I just like walk out of there like a fucking ripped off.
He had before you leave, he tries to hand you a bag full of this, or not a bag, a jar of this ointment.
Has she rejoined the group yet?
I'm trying to figure out if she's taking the ointment or not.
I'm taking the ointment. Well, I'm holding on to it, just like. I'm gonna go feed this to an orphan.
Okay.
Damn.
Damn, I want the ointment.
You don't have skin!
I have a beak.
All right. While
Skin!
Javaria is off talking with the merchant, what are the other 3 of you doing?
I have a feeling that I would be following her, knowing that she tends to get in trouble when she's off on her own. And since we are new to the city, it's best to make a good impression.
Okay.
And having having Javaria left to her own whims, I'm afraid she may acquire some things.
What's your passive perception? Let's see if you're able to keep track of her like in the crowd.
That's just my wisdom, right?
It should be labeled on the sheet. I think there's
Oh,
a spot for it.
Passive perception is 12.
Okay. So through the crowds and through the dinosaurs and getting jostled by merchants, you do lose track of her. You see her tail as she like slips into the bazaar.
Travelers, you are joined on your adventure today by a giant named Kanye.
Armia Doda, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the game. You see her tail as she slips into the bazaar, but once you kind of get in there, you've lost track of her. So you're in the bazaar. You've got all these merchants around you, and it's a little cooler inside. The sun's not beating down on you directly any longer. But yeah, there's no sign of Javaria in there.
What kind of stalls do I see around here?
So there are stalls for all sorts of things. A lot of it is linen and food and spices, but some of it is for lumber. Roseheart Toxic, thank you for the host. Other parts of it are like tools, woodworking stuff, dye tubs, dyes for different clothing. What are you looking for, basically?
You know, the whole food thing. Before I get into that, I have to ask you, because I don't know what kind of DM you are. Do you require us to eat food, or does it give any like certain advantages if we do maintain eating, or is it just something that you assume we do?
Because of just the way that we're running this game, where I'm not tracking ammo and I'm not tracking other stuff, I'm going to assume that you have rations and that you eat.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
All right.
If we were doing like a super hardcore game where I was making you keep track of everything, then yeah, I'd have you guys have food and then if you run out of food in the wilderness and all kinds of fun stuff. But yeah, I'm just going to assume that you guys have food.
Okay. Yeah, because I didn't know if you do what I do with the whole bonus thing, but
Yeah.
okay. So I think for at the moment, he's just gonna like look around to see if like anything in particular catches his eye, while still trying to keep an eye out for Javaria.
Okay. What are Fives and Crest up to? Are you guys following? Or are you chasing after? Like, what are you guys doing since you left the dock or the pier?
I'm kind of staring awestruck at all the dinosaurs.
Okay.
Remember, Fives is 5 freaking feet tall, so you know.
He comes up to the shoulder on most of these things.
If like I come to the knee of some of the thunder lizards running around here.
Well,
So-
most of the dinosaurs that you're seeing are Triceratops, are Stegosauruses, are other types of dinosaurs that I don't remember the names of, where they're mostly being used for like pack mule type animals, like they're saddled down with bags. So you're not seeing anything like that's aggressive. These are all like being used as in place of donkeys, basically.
Like Beast of Burden.
Yeah.
Do I see anywhere around Fives a used car lot of dinosaurs?
Where is
You know, like are there anybody actually selling dinosaurs, not just, you know, like they own their own dinosaurs? Or anybody selling dinosaurs?
let me see if you can see it from where you are. Hang on. I gotta remember also where it is on the map. Pretty sure. So from where you are, no, you're not gonna see it.
Crap. Can I ask somebody where that might be?
Sure. So you've got merchants and people just walking on the streets. You've also got people, you know, walking their dinosaurs around, carrying goods and whatnot. Who are you approaching?
Can I walk up to somebody who has a dinosaur and inquire? Literally just say, "So where'd you get one of those?"
He's gonna look at you and kind of tilts his head. One of what?
Point at the dinosaur.
Oh, you are new to our city. I see. You get off the ship. You come into the port. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
He nods and he says, "How much coin you have?" I don't know why they have this accent, but they do.
Because they do. Because why
You're
not?
welcome.
'Cause it's fun.
Hashtag blame Javaria.
It's a very nice Kuala Lumpur looking kind of thing, sounding kind of thing. So he asked me how much gold I have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna lie and tell him I have 300.
You have 300 coin. Okay. He claps his hands and kind of rubs them together, and he says, "You want to go down to the end of this walled area and take a left past the bazaar, and go down further, and you will come to the shit name.
Shit name.
No, not the shit name. I just forgot the name of it. Where is it?
Well, I'm mimicking. I've heard people say this. For all intents and purposes, Alicorn, I don't want to have to. It's complicated.
He says, you want to go down to the Tikiri anchorage, and they will have your dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
He nods. Yes.
Takiri.
Takiri anchorage.
Greenwich.
Yes.
Crest. And then I just walk off
Okay.
in the direction, really hoping that Crest is following me.
You're so gonna get mugged.
You know, I'm like the skeleton slayer. I'm pretty fucking sure I can handle myself in town, but
Oh, no, I'm just kidding.
don't even. I just like, I'm like tempting. I'm like, yo, Impious, look. It's like tempting Impious the entire time.
Oh, look at me. I'm splitting the party.
HP Fox, what is, or Crest, what are you up to?
So I've probably been following Lexus up until now, with one of my tomes out, kind of making notes of the streets and what's around us. Maybe making small talk with some of the merchants about their wares and where they come from, etc. If I happen to see Fives asking about dinosaurs, I am absolutely going to go with them.
What's your passive perception?
11. So it kind of depends, I guess, on how close we all were.
High or low?
High.
No, you do not see Fives asking about dinosaurs. Hey, Doc.
In which case, I am going to continue to stick relatively close to Lexus and make more small talk with merchants as we go through the bazaar.
Okay. So, Lexus, you and Crest probably catch Javaria as she's coming back out of the apothecary tent. She stands out a little bit. There don't seem to be many tabaxi out in the area, and Javaria, you know why. You were, like, overwhelmingly hot. Like, being in this humid climate. The bazaar's been a nice, like, break because the sun's not beating down on you directly, but you know that kind of when you leave, it's just gonna suck.
What's in the jar, Javaria? No, that wasn't a joke.
He has skin, right?
He does.
Like skin.
I would hope so.
I don't think he's
He
ethereal.
hasn't
I'm not decaying yet, am I?
No, all you see is her just like she just plucks this jar into one arm, unscrews the lid, she flips her finger into it, and she just flops you in the face with it. You're gonna need it.
It smells awful. Like, it is the most repugnant thing you have ever smelled.
Can I at least identify what it's supposed to do?
Possibly. Give me a medicine check.
Crest, like, actively recoils when he sees this. It's so gross looking and smelling.
No, you have no idea what it does.
Javaria, what is that?
According to the apothecary, it stops your skin from turning red.
And apparently assaults one's senses as well.
You don't need senses when you're not pink. She just slaps it back on the lid, and she's like, I have my new secret weapon.
I really want what's in that jar.
And I stood up for you. When Crest is calling you a criminal, I said people can change.
Meh.
Told you they wouldn't change.
God, this stuff smells horrible. Did you learn anything other than getting a large jar of foul-smelling ointment?
She suddenly stops in her tracks, like, oh, I forgot about that. And she just like slowly starts breaking down into giggles. Yes, we need to go talk to a nanny poo poo.
I'm sorry. What?
And she just kind of breaks down and her face just hits Lexus's shoulder like, I need a minute.
God.
And no, we need to go find a nanny poo poo.
I don't think I'm
Sorry.
familiar with the language you're speaking.
Nanny poo-poo?
You are? Maybe she knows what's in the jar.
And as she is cracking up and repeating Nanny Poo Poo's name over and over, people have like begun to give you a wide berth, and a lot of people are giving you like this side eye.
You're going to get us cursed.
Lexus looks over at Crest with like a very confused look on his face.
Mags, can you?
I don't know what to tell you.
Take a big
Javaria,
one.
is Nanny Poo Poo a person or?
Yes, she apparently has a way to keep, like, if you die, she can bring you back as a fully sentient, self-aware zombie.
What?
Yeah, you heard me.
So she's a necromancer.
Ooh. Like the sudden awareness and suddenly Nanny Poo Poo doesn't sound funny anymore.
Now it's getting interesting. I say we go find this Madam Poo Poo.
There we go.
Crest, you're not helping.
All for the sake of knowledge, of course.
Did the shopkeeper or whoever gave you this information tell you where to find her?
All he said was she's a rumor. But it would be worth looking for.
Madame Poo Poo.
She's a rumor.
She is a rumor. I'm sure if we ask around.
Okay. Are you going to be okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Whatever you do, don't put that ointment on anyone else. It smells like literal death. Has anyone... We're kind of missing someone.
Oh, now you guys notice.
Now that you mention it, yeah, where did he go?
Oh, no.
Did you lose the bird?
I think we lost the bird.
You guys suck at babysitting.
Alright.
All right, and with that realization, I think we're going to take our first break for the evening. So you folks that are watching at home, thanks for, well, I don't know where else you'd be watching, but thanks for hanging out. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break, and when we come back, we will go on the search for fives.
And Nanny Poo Poo.
But yeah, we will be right back. Thanks. All right, we're back. Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back.
So dress for hot weather.
I hope not. I'm enjoying the nice cool. It's nice and cool up here in Washington, dude. It's
had
freaking
nice and
paradise.
cold. Yeah.
Well, get ready for hell then.
It's been like sunny but not hot, and it's been cool but not freezing.
Yeah, it was 83 here today.
Fucking blasphemy.
All right. So when we left off, Fives was off center camera. I don't know if that's me or him. There we
Yes.
Hold on.
Fives is going looking for dinosaurs to buy, apparently. The rest of the party went into the bazaar and lost track of Fives and the fact that he was not with them. So, as Fives is following the directions that he was given to where the dinosaur used car salesman is,
So perfect.
you pass one of the gates for Port Naranzayu. And looking through it, you can see that there's this big sloth. It looks like rainwater kind of runs through it and has just carved out this road. And the gate kind of towers above you, and over it, it's probably 150 feet high.
You ping the map where this is?
Yeah, it's
I'm kind of lost.
down here.
Okay, cool.
So the gate is actually this spot right here. And you can see on the other side of the gate, seeing through it, that it looks like some slums have been built up around the road. There's definitely a change in class as to the buildings that are inside the walls and those that are on the other side. Except for one building which stands out amongst the other makeshift lean-tos and tents as a building that actually has a form and structure made out of stone, but it's a very simple, kind of unelegant gray stone building versus like the painted walls that you see inside Port Naranzayu.
Okay.
Is Five just going to continue walking, or?
I'm going to veer towards that building.
Okay. That's the other side of the fence, or the gate, rather. Are you exiting the gate, and are you just, like, watching it as you pass, as Fives passes by? Like, how are you doing?
And I'm just going to eyeball it as I pass by, because I don't see... Do I see any dinosaurs, like, in pens or whatnot?
No, not in that area.
Then I'm just going to eyeball it and make a mental note to remember that there's just something about that building that stood out to me.
Okay. And you'll continue on. Are you asking where Tirki Anchorage is as you go?
Yeah, I'm just kind of just repeating it over and over to myself,
Okay, and
as not to forget.
okay, are you approaching people and asking them as well? Or are you just kind of
No.
repeating it to yourself?
Just kind of repeating and going in the general direction where the gentleman told me.
Okay. We will come back to you and give everybody a chance to see if they can catch up with you. So the rest of you, as you leave the bazaar, which way are you heading?
That's a good question.
I think coming into the port, we would have seen that there's a lot of cars outside, apparently. We would have seen that there's a lot more to the city to the south. So that's probably where I would kind of try and migrate.
Like a bird.
Do Javaria and Lexus kind of agree and follow, or what do you guys think of Crest's?
I think I would be following Crest, but at the same time, I would be asking just like random people if they've seen a like give a description of Fives and see if they've seen anyone like him in maybe what direction he's gone.
Hey, the first person you ask has seen him.
Wow.
And in fact, he's like, yeah, I gave a creature like that directions to the dinosaur dealer and Pin moments ago. And he gestures and he points and gives you. He says, he is headed towards Tirki Anchorage. where the dinosaur pins are held.
Turkey Anchorage. Got it.
Did you just say turkey?
Yeah.
God damn it. He looks at you as, no, not flightless bird. Turkey. Turkey. There's a difference.
No, I'm looking for flightless bird.
Oh, your friend is turkey. I understand now.
Sorry.
And now Fives is a turkey.
Turkey is a very noble and fearless bird. It just looks redonkulous.
So that's the best way to look for him, or best place to look for him.
Yeah, he provides you guys with direction down here to Turkey Anchorage, which is actually a little bit more specific than the directions that he provided Fives.
Okay. In thanks for his assistance, I'm going to give him a gold.
Okay. He says, much appreciated. I thank you and hope that you find your friend.
Shall we?
Jive turkey.
For the sake of party coherence, you guys happen to meet up with Fives at this gate to Turkey Anchorage. Just because I don't want to deal with
You
this
guys would have gotten lost.
And you can see on the other side of the gate, the buildings, or at least Fives, you notice that the buildings here seem to still keep the same colors that the rest of Port Naran Zayu have, not like the other kind of area that you were looking at earlier.
Right.
But a breeze kind of blows in from the west, and you guys can feel, or not feel, well, you might be able to feel it depending on how bad your smell is. You can smell just the smell of stables. But instead of this is like walking into a stable on a hot day, but you're outside, and normally it's not that pungent outside around the stables, but you can definitely smell something.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about, man. I did my time in Montana. I'm well aware.
But looking down through as the road kind of curves and moves around, you can see down at some pins where you can assume that the dinosaurs are probably being held.
We should buy one of them.
Buy one of them?
Yes, ride.
How much do they cost?
I do not know. At which point, I'm going to hand... But while you guys are figuring it out, I'm going to look at Javari and hand her the thing.
Thing are you handing me? Oh,
Not...
that-
Jeez, girl. No, man. The contract. The paper. God. Just going to get this out of my inventory.
We definitely are going to need some mode of transportation if we're going to leave the city. And it seems like those large beasts are what everybody uses to get around.
So as you guys are walking up, the street kind of path more. This isn't like the cobbled streets inside Port Naran Zayu. This is just kind of a path that's been walked back and forth many times by travelers and by beasts. Breaks into kind of a Y around some extensive pins that hold just these massive beasts. Some people are leaning on a fence watching as others inside of them are training some of these beasts. There are a couple of Triceratops and 3 Ankylosaurs, I think I said that right, in the nearest pin along with their trainer. As you guys approach, suddenly a splash of fire envelops the fence nearest you, and arrows fly from rooftops, targeting the trainers and the beasts closest to the fence.
Whoa. All right, the moment that happens, I bust out the shield and the mace and start looking around to see what's going on.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a perception. So you're looking around at the roofs of the buildings across the way, but not able to see anything from as far as any direction where these arrows may have come from.
Also, I really want to buy a damn Ankylosaur.
What are the rest of you doing?
Funny enough, as I squat down to basically not get set on fire or get pincushion. I get way too close to Lexus, and I kind of look, and then I make the sound of a fart.
Don't ask.
What about Crest and Javaria?
I think I'm probably gonna try and find the source of these arrows and stuff as well.
All right, give me a perception. Okay. No dice. Well, some dice, but just not the ones you wanted. What about Max? What about Javaria?
Am I close to one of these flaming arrows? Like,
So the arrows weren't on fire.
oh,
The arrows were aimed at the dinosaurs and the trainers in the pen. The whatever caught the fence on fire, you're not sure.
no, I just want to do an experiment. I need to know if this stinky goop is flammable. Because as far as I'm concerned, they're aiming at them, not us, not our fight. Now, when they start aiming at me, I'll get involved.
Okay.
I'm new here. I don't want trouble.
So you hear the sound of glass shattering as the another section of the fence catches fire. You can hear the dinosaurs inside of the pen beginning to panic and stomp, and you can hear the sounds of their trainers trying to calm them down as arrows are flying over your head again into the pens, and you can hear as some of them are hitting dirt and some of them are hitting into meat, and you can see that the arrows are flying into some of the dinosaurs.
Okay, now that's just rude.
Hmm.
All right. I'm gonna roll my perception check, which I do have a thingy in.
Proficiency?
Thank you.
That word?
What is that check mark for?
Right. So we take the highest for yours.
Smooth.
You guys can't see shit. Okay. So yeah, you're still. Every time that this volley of arrows is flying over your head, you can see where they're coming from, but for whatever reason, you're not able to see the person letting them fly.
Okay, I want to try something
Yeah.
because I'm gonna try. I want to try to get on top of one of the buildings.
Okay. How are you doing that?
I'm thinking I'm going to just jump, do like birdie hops.
All right. Well, I mean, you
Like kung fu style. Like you ever see kung fu panties like jumping off shit? Yeah.
Sure, but the jumping from the ground to the top of a building is probably a little bit higher than you
Well,
can.
like from the thing to the top of a door
He
frame.
wants to
do-
parkour.
Give
I
me
want to
a-
parkour. I'm like
Alright.
parkour.
Give me either acrobatics or a dexterity roll, whichever one you
Can
want.
can I assist him by giving him a boost?
Sure.
Throw it.
Ooh, yeah.
All right. Roger, roll me
Bam.
your. You don't need to. All right. So Rogen gives you a boost. I was going to give you just advantage on that, but that's perfect. And you are able to climb up onto one of the rooftops adjacent from the pens. And there you see crouched two archers holding arrows that are already knocked and pulled tight that they let fly as you jump up onto the roof.
Do they miss me?
That's a good question. What's your AC?
My AC is 14.
The first one does, and the second one does as well. So you surprise them as you hop onto the roof, and they let these arrows loose, and they go whizzing past you and over the pins into the hills behind them.
Scrubs.
So we've had actions from everybody but Crest. What's Crest doing?
Well, I was gonna do a thing to get a better eye on the situation, but since they're already parkouring up onto the roof, I don't need to do that.
They is too many people. It's just me.
Yeah, it's just one.
It's just me.
I
I got a death wish.
think I'm just gonna watch Fives and wait for instruction from him, since
Okay.
he has a view on the situation now.
Give me a perception roll. There we go.
My
So
man.
as you are watching Five, you see somebody off in the crowd, maybe about 50 feet away, light a rag on a bottle and chunk it towards the fence of the pen. You can hear the glass shatter as another section of the fence catches fire.
Straight up Molotovs. Nice.
Oh my god.
And you can hear as the fence begins to creak with under the sound of the crackling, and the dinosaurs begin to get a little bit more anxious. Nobody's a druid, are they? Okay, cool. All right, yeah,
How far away from me was this person that I saw?
about 50 feet.
I'm going to run after them.
Okay. What's your movement speed?
30.
30? Okay, so you can get within 20 feet of them. All right. About the time that you take off and you start running, is anybody close to the pens where the dinosaurs were being kept? I'm going to say that Alexis was probably across the street helping with that
Yeah.
boost.
Yeah, helping the boost.
What about
That
Javaria?
leaves me.
Were you near the pins?
Hey, you were close to the pens.
I was gonna go see if the stuff was flammable, so I know I was heading that direction. So I'm gonna go ahead and say yes. I was.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a dexterity save.
Mercy.
You're the rogue. You got Dex. You got this. Please have this.
Now I'm trying to click on it, and oh, derp, it's over here. Got it.
All right, 15. That's good. That's enough to get you out of the way. So as you are hearing the fence catch fire and the wood begin to creak, you dodge, like jump out of the way as the fence comes down, and this Triceratops, who is panicking, charges through the now open fence, throwing burning logs every which way as he begins to chase or run down the street towards Port Naranzayu.
Does it have anything on it? Like, is it already saddled up and anything like that?
It has a bridle. It doesn't have a saddle. It does have a couple of bags on it.
Bareback.
Okay, well, yeah, that's my next attempt is to try and grab this bridle and swing myself up to see if I can't help steer this thing, keep it from wrecking the place.
Okay. Go ahead and give me. How are you getting onto it? Are you just like trying to jump on it as it runs past? Or are you like grabbing the reins and trying to swing yourself on, hoping you don't get dragged behind it?
Yeah, basically the second one. I was gonna grab the reins and do a little bit of an acrobatics. I think would be best.
Okay, acrobatics will work. Not like that, they won't.
Bye, guys.
I think what happens is Javaria reaches for the reins and she grabs them, but she's not able to like swing herself up onto the back of this thing. So she's just getting dragged down the street, hanging onto the reins of this dinosaur, this Triceratops. So what does that leave? What is Lexus doing, seeing Javaria getting dragged down the road, this dirt road by this rampaging dinosaur?
I'm about to do something really stupid.
That should be the theme of this freaking of the podcast.
Yeah.
This should be the theme of this broadcast.
All right. So seeing as how she is being dragged by this thing, and knowing that a rampaging beast running into a town can only cause destruction, he's gonna say a quick prayer to ask Lathander for guidance before trying to calm the creature.
Crap.
All right, what is he saying?
His hand, like my hand, just goes right up to the amulet of Lathander, and I just whisper, "Lathander, may your light protect me from trampling."
From trampling?
From trampling.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm about to do something really stupid.
Let's see.
Jump in front of the dinosaur. Hey,
Mhm.
hey.
Okay. Where you would expect a response, you receive silence.
Oh, that's always
Which is
good.
not, it's not uncommon. Like, there are times that you know that Lathander heard your pleas, and there are times that like you don't get a response. So it's not uncommon for you to just not have a response. But you know that chances are that means that he's chosen not to get himself involved or is busy with something else.
Nowhere in my teachings is standing in front of dinosaurs.
Right. Nowhere does it says I protect you from dumb shit.
He's flipping the pages like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
All right. So you got cast guidance on yourself.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna try an animal handling check to calm it.
Okay.
Oh, thank God it wasn't that one.
Except I was going to say it's at a disadvantage because it's rampaging. But it just means that like your animal handling does nothing. Even the 14 wouldn't have done it anyway, so it's okay.
Well, even with the D4 added onto it?
Oh, with the D4, roll your D4. The 14 might have actually done something then. Yeah. So with the D4, the Triceratops doesn't stop, but it does slow. And it's from like a rampage to a jog. It's still going. It's still dragging Javaria behind it. Fives. You have these two archers on the roof with you that let arrows fly. Unfortunately, or fortunately, missing you. What are you doing?
First, remember that sound that the bell made when we had to fight all the crap on the boat?
Not the bell again.
I'm gonna make that bell. Get fucking used to it. That is like my default sound to make when yeah. You know, like when you're playing like a Final Fantasy, it's like and shit gets all crazy. Yeah, the bell.
This is your Danger Will Robinson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much. That's what I'm doing, and I'm kind of shrieking it out. And I'm hoping that catches them a little bit off guard, and then I'm going to attack them.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a charisma check. Or charisma check's fine. Let's see how off guard it catches them.
Is it no, that's saving throws. Okay, just click charisma, right?
Yep.
Beep. Smooth.
11. Okay. So it catches them off guard a little bit, but not enough to really turn the battle one way or the other.
I am a klaxon. Like the Star Wars. Brrr, brrr. I love it. All right, sorry.
No worries. All right, so you're making your alarm sound and then you're attacking one of them?
Yeah.
Okay, what are you doing?
Is there anyone in particular that's closest to me?
No, they're both just kind of over the other side of the crest of the roof.
About how far?
15 feet.
Yeah, okay, I can do that.
And they're about 8 feet apart.
Okay. I want to go for the one on the left. You
Okay.
always go for the one on the left. Left is first. Always. So I'm just going to go and just try to do a regular... I know nothing about them, but I'm going to just go for a regular unarmed strike.
Okay, go for it.
All right. Boop.
All right, that'll hit. Go ahead and roll me your damage.
Boop. Damn, that thing was flying all over the place.
All right, and so you catch one of them in the middle of the chest, and he instantly goes sliding down the roof as the tiles below him begin to give way. The other behind you kind of pulls out a scimitar and readies it, turning towards you. I think you get a bonus action though, right?
Yeah, I do get a bonus action that I can do. It's the bonus action is just another unarmed strike though.
Okay, go ahead and do it.
All right. Big money, no whammies.
That won't hit. Okay.
Wah, wah.
I mean, I'm trying to remember. Like, no, I'm not gonna do any key funky stuff or whatever.
Okay, so the one that you didn't strike, the other one is rushing towards you with a scimitar, scimitar. I will say that right eventually.
No, you're saying
Draw.
it perfectly fine.
Drawn and beginning to swing it in a big overhanded arc towards you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a 9 hits your AC though.
Nope,
Okay.
not even close.
All right. What about Crest? What's Crest up to while all this is going on?
So I went after the guy that was throwing Molotovs or whatever those were. Am I within 30 feet of him at this point?
Yeah.
Okay, so I am going to do that on him
Okay. You extend your hand and point a finger at the target in range. Your magic grants you a brief insight into the target's defenses. On your next turn, you gain advantage on your first attack. Okay, cool.
Now, if we're doing like proper turn stuff here, then I can't do anything until my next turn.
Okay.
But in the meantime, I will take aim with my crossbow at the back of his knees.
That's rude. Okay.
Hamstringing.
Trying to decide if what this guy's gonna do. I think he sees you, and he sees the drawn crossbow, and he ducks away into or attempts to duck away into a crowd to lose you. And will do so successfully.
Jerk.
Or actually, give me a perception roll if you can beat a 20.
Do it.
Not have high hopes for that, but I'll roll it anyway.
Oh,
All right then.
Or that'll happen. So he ducks away into the crowd, but you're able to keep track of him. He's got a bright green, like turquoise colored head wrap on, and that's how you're actually able to keep track of him.
Not stealth.
That's
Yeah.
not good hiding stuff.
Well, he wasn't planning to come out and hide, so that wasn't his thought process. All right, so we are back to Mags almost. I gotta check something here. At 8. So Mags, as you go ahead and give me a strength check to pull yourself up onto the back of this Triceratops. And I'll give you advantage now that it's slowed down a little bit too.
Oh, thank goodness.
Perfect. So Javaria claws her way onto the top of this thing, no longer being pulled behind it by the reins. As you get on top of it and get yourself centered, you look up and you see that there's a Dimetrodon or Dimetrodon. Dimetrodon. Did I say that right? I don't know.
Dimetrodon.
I will post it in chat and somebody can tell me how to say it. Directly in front of you.
Dimetrodon.
Dimetrodon.
Yeah, Dimetrodon. Directly in front of you, the Triceratops that you're riding on, still kind of barreling down towards it.
I'm gonna assume I still have the reins.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, how well is this thing trained? Because I don't know if it was still in training or what, but I'm gonna try and beers this thing off to the side. I have no animal handling. This one's gonna
Oh
be
no.
fine.
All right, go ahead and yeah,
gonna
roll
fall.
your animal handling for me. So about that.
I panicked.
So as the Triceratops barrels down on top of this thing, it turns and panics and attacks as you run by. Does a 14 hit your AC?
I think yes, it does.
Alright, and 2d6 plus 2.
I'm getting spare the dying ready.
It's a cat kebab.
So you take 12 damage as this thing claws into the side of your ribs as you pass by.
Does anyone have
Just kind of
have
panicked.
image of a Dimetrodon?
A picture of it?
Yeah.
They have the giant fan on their
they're
back.
the big like sail thing.
They look like an alligator with a sail on its back and a really broad head.
That's really
I know a lot
nasty.
about
to you.
dinosaurs. I was the only child. Okay, don't judge.
I'm gonna drop one in chat. There you go.
Dinosaurs are the shit.
Oh, dude, that looks hardcore.
I should play art.
How much HP did you have, Mags?
I'm down to 4 now. I had 17.
Okay.
You
So
got
that
this.
hurt like a mother trucker.
You
Yep.
got this. He's not Jage. He's not Martin. He won't kill you off
Is-
in the second mission.
Is she still on the Triceratops?
She is. There's just now a lot of blood in the road or in the path as this thing is still kind of it's begun to charge again after getting attacked and like running into that Dimetrodon. as it's charging back towards the fence for Port Naranzayu. And Lexus, what are you doing?
How far is she away from me right now?
Let's see. You guys started. Give you a good circle here. You started at the spot where that circle is.
I don't see a circle.
Down by the pin down here. Hang on.
Where?
Way down here.
Oh, way down there. Okay.
Yeah. You guys
we're
started
up
right
here,
there.
Okay.
She is now probably about here. Where that second circle is, and you're probably back here at this turn.
How far is that?
Let's call it 20 feet.
20 feet? All right. Well, I'm going to do my job here. Wait, let's see. No, that's a touch. That's a range.
-0. It is Tomb of Annihilation.
So
All right, so I'm going to use Healing Word to heal Javaria for 6.
Okay.
What does this Dimetrodon look like it's doing right now? Since it's obviously panicked that it almost got trampled by the Triceratops.
So it has gone and like moved out of the way now. So it's like ducked back against one of the sides of one of the buildings, because the Triceratops is bigger than it is. So it's just kind of attacked out of like startled reaction.
Okay, so it's not attacking
No,
civilians or anything.
no.
All right, I'm gonna run after Javaria. For my movement, I'm gonna run after the Triceratops and Javaria.
Okay. All right, and so you are catching up. Let's see. Spooner, what is Fives doing on the roof with the two guys?
Well, you said the one guy slid down off the roof, and I'm hoping he promptly got his neck broken when he hit the ground.
He slid away from you from the impact of your punch, but he's still on the roof.
Okay, so he's still up and about, or is he like, oh god, my freaking chest is caved in?
He's kind of crouched and like he took that hit pretty hard. But you should probably be a little bit more worried about the guy with the scimitar drawn and attack.
Yeah, no, that's why I was just assessing the situation. All right, I am going to just press the attack on the scimitar guy
Okay.
because he's obviously armed, and the other one is not so much armed right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and proceed with. Wait, dude, are they armored by the way?
They're not, or at least
They're
not
not
from what
armored?
you can tell.
Okay, so just regular clothes. Obviously, it's hotter than hell outside. In that case, yeah, I'm going with a straight up unarmed strike on that guy again. So we're just gonna go whaba.
That one will like jump back just in time for like your fist to just come up short and not connect.
Okay, not connected. I don't get a bonus on the miss, right?
disconnect.
Don't believe so.
Okay, and because I didn't move this turn, but I attacked. I'm done with my turn.
No, you can move if you'd like. He is close enough that he would get an attack of opportunity if you moved away from him. However,
But being
you could take like a disengage or something.
yeah, I'll do because I can use. God, what the hell is it called, man? Freaking hold up! It's got a name. It's called. No, not Flurry Blows. Step of the Wind. I can spend one of my key, and I will disengage as a bonus action on my turn.
Okay.
And my jump distance is doubled. Neat. Where the hell does it say my jump distance? Jesus Christ. It's freaking cool.
Jump distance is, I believe, your strength score.
Cool. I can jump 12.
Okay.
I can jump fucking far.
So you're using that step of the wind to disengage from
Yes.
the guy with the scimitar.
Yes, I'm just gonna remove one of my key.
Okay. All right, HP Fox, you have your crossbow drawn and knocked, or rather, Crest has his crossbow drawn and knocked, and you have your True Strike already kind of primed on the guy that was throwing Molotovs.
Yes.
What are you doing?
So since he kind of ran into a crowd, before I pull the trigger, I'm going to just kind of put my fingers to my mouth and let out a loud whistle to get the attention of the crowd, and then bring my crossbow back up. just so they kind of know to separate.
Mm-hmm.
And once I think I have a line on the guy, I'm going to fire with the intent to disable, not to like maim him or anything.
Okay. All right. So the crowd hears your whistle and stops, and then sees the crossbow drawn, and everybody just kind of scatters, giving you this kind of open avenue down your line of sight towards this guy. Go ahead and roll your attack, and you have advantage on this. 10 will not hit.
That's unfortunate.
So you were aiming for the back of his knee, and the bolt goes flying and lands just kind of right between his steps in the dirt, sticking up out of the ground as he turns a corner around a building.
Okay, how are the fires doing? Are they increasing in intensity behind me, or are they starting to die out?
No, other than the section of fence that got knocked out by the Triceratops, the rest of the fires are beginning to spread to the other pins and stables.
God damn it. Okay. I'm going to let the guy go, and I'm going to make my way to the fires as fast as I can.
Okay. And I think that's everybody. Yep. All right. I need to do my attackers on the roofs with 5s. So this is the one that you disengaged from. He's charging back after you with his sword. Blah. 18 hit your AC for 5s.
Yeah, 18 definitely hits my freaking AC. I'm at 14.
What is it? Centaur's 1d6. So he gets a good hack into the side of 5's like shoulder and neck with the scimitar.
Damn, dude. So where am I at now? That does 6 damage?
It does 6 damage, yeah.
I'm down to 11 HPs.
The other attacker on the roof has his bow re-knocked with an arrow, kind of pointing it at you, but he hasn't let it go yet. He's just kind of like giving you this look of just back off, and he even says, "Just back off. It's better not to get into affairs that don't concern you."
So is it my turn now to do things?
Nope, I got one more.
I was gonna say,
thing I need
like,
to do.
I would like to answer back with parlay.
13. I think it's just, yeah, it's uneventful. All right, so Mags, you on top of this rampaging Triceratops, with this huge gash in your side. What are you up to, or what is Javaria up to?
Well, I was going to say, I want to get off of this crazy ride, but I have a feeling that me trying to jump off and I'm going to land on something that's going to get me killed.
Jade, stop this crazy thing.
Pretty much.
Team, fucking come help me. Damn it.
You want to try to stop it again?
I do want to try and stop this thing.
Okay. Go ahead and give me another animal handling roll.
Can't I just put, like, my sword through the back of its skull?
I mean, if you want.
Don't kill the Triceratops.
No, don't do that. You're gonna piss people off.
We can bring it back and we can have a necrotrike. It'll be fine.
Yo, you know, an undead dinosaur down sounds pretty freaking dope. For real.
Remember that you said that.
That's a friendly one, Impious.
You didn't specify.
Damn you.
All right. So this time, Javaria leans forward and, like, instead of using the rein, like, runs her hand down the back of this Triceratops' neck under, like, where the armor plating normally is, and just kind of a soothing motion. And it stops and slows just before, like, careening into this unaware merchant's stall. And it finally, like, comes to a stop. And you can see the merchant looking up at you. He had his blankets and his wares down on the ground, and he's just looking up, and his eyes are like huge saucers of, oh my god, I almost died.
I'm pretty sure Javaria's got the same look on her face.
Okay. All right, so Lexus, you can see Javaria finally calm and hop off the back of this Triceratops, about 20 feet in front of you. What are you up to?
I'm gonna run. Did she climb off of the Triceratops?
Yeah. She just
Okay.
kind of slid down its side and now has its reins in her hand.
Okay. I just run up to her, and first question is, "Are you okay?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me see. Let me see the wound as I'm like going into like mama bear mode.
I mean, I'm obviously gonna let him tend to the wound, but at the same time, I'm like,
It's like, oh, stop! You know it's not gonna hurt.
this is look of it had better not, or yours will.
It just touches the wound and heals it.
Okay. Okay, I can live with that. Mother trucker.
All right. So,
He goes, Is
Lexus
he looks around? He's like, "Oh crap! Where is everyone else?
You lost the bird again.
Lost the
Good
bird again."
job.
Well, let's take this back to its pen and see if we just can't find everyone.
All right,
Right.
so Fives is up on the roof with the two assailants. Nice gash in your shoulder and chest from the scimitar.
I had a question, by the way, about that. So
Yeah.
when I used the step move and I disengaged, what exactly did that do? Because he seemed like he closed the gap pretty fucking quickly. And
Right. So what that
Pretty
does is allows you to move away from him without triggering an attack of opportunity. So if you had disengaged and then said, "All right, now I'm going to run to the other side of the roof," then that'd have been fine. Like he would not have gotten that attack of
okay.
opportunity.
okay, but he still crossed the roof and like came at me anyway, right?
Right. Well, you
didn't have
disengaged, so
all-
that's just kind of a jump back. So he moved forward and attacked.
Gotcha. Okay. So my turn now. Yes.
Right, and they've kind of warned you to, hey, back off.
In that case, I am going to spend my last key point, my chi, whatever,
Key.
key. It's funny as fuck. I'm sorry. I'm going to use patient defense, which basically is going to take a dodge action as my bonus action for this turn.
Okay.
All right. And I'm going to stand my ground and I'm going to keep shouting for my team.
All right. So you're
Bell
not.
noise, bell. I mean, I don't know, man. I need to get a freaking soundboard or something with this bell. I got a GG button, but that ain't going to work for this.
Need an air horn.
Oh, don't tempt me. If we were in Discord, man, you'd ban me so quick.
I think I have that disabled actually.
Damn it.
I've said that now. Somebody's gonna go try it. And turns out I don't. But
I do before I stop though, and my turn is over. I do look squarely at the dude who told me to not get involved in affairs, and I repeat it to him like flawlessly in his own voice,
okay.
best I can.
But you're not actively like approaching them or making any attacks.
No, I'm just kind of like bracing, and then I do the patient defense thing. Says lets me do the dodge action, the dodge thingy.
Okay. What is Crest doing?
All right, so I made my way back to kind of where the fires are, letting the Molotov guy go. Since these are kind of animal pens, I assume there's probably like a trough of water or a barrel of water, something close by.
Yeah, there's a so they're what they have is they have these barrels that are set out with tarps over them to catch and collect rainwater.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is use that and go like waterbender style and start using that water to put out the fires.
Okay, give me a what seems right for that.
An avatar check.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking like maybe an acrobatics check to move the water the way that you want to, or dexterity, but also, or you could give me, was it, you're a wizard, so wisdom check if you want to do it that way.
Would that be
Um,
like Arcana? No.
Could I actually do an intelligence check since that's my spellcasting ability?
Yep, because I meant intelligence, not wisdom. I meant whichever one wizards use.
That would be
Yeah.
intelligence.
So you're able to kind of, what you do is you pull the water up out of these barrels and form it into clouds and basically like have it rain down on the pins, but before it hits the dirt, you just kind of cycle it back up into the cloud, just continuously over and over, creating this like this rain waterfall that you move back and forth across the pins, snuffing out the fires.
Perfect.
All right, and that's everybody except for the two guys on the roof, who, now that Fives has kind of jumped back a little bit, they look at each other. The one that that you hit is still kind of holding his chest, and he just kind of nods to the other. Give me a perception check real quick for Fives.
Pop. Boop.
All right, so you're not able to react fast enough, but you can see him pull something from his jacket, both of them at the same time, and kind of throw them down in front of you, and they give off like a bright flash of light and smoke, like enough for that you turn your head. It's essentially like a little smoke bomb.
Pocket
And-
sand.
Yeah, kind of. And by the time that you kind of look back and clear your eyes, they've slipped off the roof and down into the streets and are running away from the scene.
Dicks.
All right.
And it's not my turn at this point yet.
Well, at this point, because nobody's really engaged in combat, I'm just going to kind of go over to
Okay.
open action. So if you guys have something you want to do, just let me know.
Is there any way that I can pursue or at least run off to the edge of the roof to see where they ran off to?
You can run off to the edge, but by the time you get there, they've slipped into a crowd.
Damn it. Is there any? Did they leave anything behind?
That's a good question.
Like anything on the roof?
Looking and trying to figure out if there's anything they would have left behind. I don't think so.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything they would have left behind. All right, so what are you guys doing? I'm gonna assume that you all kind of regather at the dinosaur pens.
Yeah, I would assume that Javari and I would be taking the Triceratops back to the pen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm probably putting the water back in the barrels after I'm done with it.
Okay.
And I need a rest.
I need healing.
Yeah. I wanted to not say I need healing.
God damn it, Genji.
I need healing.
So you guys return this Triceratops to the pens and to its trainer, who comes out and he's gotten a bad like gash in his side from dealing with one of the other dinosaurs as the incident goes on. But he smiles seeing you guys bring the Triceratops back into the pen. And he comes out and he says, "Thank you. I cannot thank you enough for returning my animal." He says, "I am Iphon. Stay here, and I will get you something for your troubles."
How bad does the wound on his side look?
He's wincing, but it doesn't look deep or
Fatal.
fatal.
It doesn't look fatal.
No.
Okay. So I think what Lexus is going to do is I'm going to spend my last heal. Wait, yeah. For 6 HP damage. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll be nice and cure 5s.
Okay. Hey.
Thanks.
So the trainer leaves the pens for a moment, and the other trainers that are there like come by and say thank you, and then go back to tending or herding their particular animals back into their pens. And a few moments later, Ifrin comes back out, and he hands you each a bag, and in each bag is 25 gold pieces.
Sweet.
And he says, if you ever find that you need a beast, come stop by, and I promise that I will give you the best deals that I can. Thank you so much for your help today.
Actually, how much for the club tail?
He looks. You going to jungles?
We go to jungle.
Is-
I'm asking team, party, team.
Our travels may lead us to the jungles, but I, at the moment, am more concerned as to why somebody would want to attack your establishment.
He nods. He says, "Well, when you're ready for a party, or when you're ready to leave, come see me first. As far as to why, I have my guesses. These animals race in the dino races, and can be subject to tampering.
Sabotage.
Yes,
You race dinosaurs?
of course."
I give a look over to Fives.
They're
Like, race
hopping from foot to foot.
dinosaurs.
At this point, I'm just hopping from foot to foot. This is pod racing. It's working. Sorry.
So somebody would put the lives of these creatures and the people around this pen in danger simply to fix a race.
The races for the bookkeepers make lots of money. It does not surprise me. I'm actually surprised that we haven't had one more recently. But yes, it happens. Usually we are less caught off guard by them. The fire, however, riled the dinosaurs up, and we were not able to respond as quickly as we normally can.
Well, maybe the authorities need to deal with these people.
So I agree, and I will be looking for them as soon as I go see Miss Mary. And he
Who's Miss Mary?
And he winces on his side. Oh, she runs a mission. Helps those that need healing.
Well, I would. How about I escort you just in case somebody tries to sabotage you along the way?
He nods and he says, "That would be much appreciated."
Okay, so I tell him, I say lead the way.
All right, and I think right there we're gonna take our second break. All right, we are back. Welcome back, everybody.
Help!
So,
It's Chopper Dave.
you guys have apparently broke Mags while I was gone. Like, I just come back, she's instantly giggling about shit. So you guys rescued a rampaging Triceratops. And
Yes.
have made at least acquaintances, if not friends, with the trainer. And he's on his way to see Miss Mary, as he refers to her, who he says runs a mission and does some healing. And you guys are escorting him. So he walks with you back through Tikiri Anchorage, talking about the dinosaur races and what a wonderful sight it is to see all these magnificent dinosaurs running in the streets and the spectacle that it brings out in the crowds and their bedding and how they're mostly safe, except for when the riders have a grudge to sort out, and then they ride more untamed animals. And as he walks you guys through Port Nyanzayu, he takes you over to Malar's Throat, which is the area that Five saw earlier, as he was walking by this gate, so up here. And in fact, he walks you to the building that you noticed that stood out. So the rest of you that didn't see this, there's this stone building in Mylar's Throat, where the rest of the structures are lean-tos and tents and look like very temporary slumish kind of conditions.
The flumes.
And he walks up to the door of the building, and emblazoned in the door in the dark wood. Panzer, thank you for that host, or Tank Pig rather. Yeah, you're used to that. Thank you for the host. Emblazoned in the door is this emblem that looks like a sun with a face in it. And for player knowledge, it's Palor's symbol, which is another deity. But he knocks on the door, and the doors swing open, and there standing in them is a figure with blonde hair and blue eyes. She's wearing heavy plate shouldering but you can see like a tunic and can see the rings of like a mithril shirt under the tunic. And she looks to Ifrin and says, "It is so good to see you again." And then she like stops mid-sentence, seeing the gash on his side. And she extends a hand, and you can see that she's missing the ring finger on her left hand. And she says, "Oh, I wish I was seeing you under better conditions. Come in, come in." And she ushers you and Ifrin into the mission.
Ow.
And the inside of the building is lit with candles that have just kind of been stuck wherever there's a ledge on the walls to stick them, and they've kind of melted wax running down the sides of them. And there are people in cots that are coughing, and people that are kind of leaning up against walls or sitting on the floor against a wall that definitely look like they've seen better days. And she almost stops to like rush over and deal with someone, and then she looks back to Ifrin and the party, and she doesn't. And she escorts Ifrin over to a chair and sits him down. He's like, "Hold still. Let me get some bandages and see what I can do about this." And then she walks off into the mission to try to find some bandages, leaving you there with Ifrin and the other people within the mission.
How large is this mission?
It's actually a pretty small area. It's probably, I don't know, 30 feet by 15.
Is there anybody else around that is as well armored as she is?
There's not. In fact, the only other people that you see are people that are probably benefiting from her treatment.
Gotcha.
So she's kind of running this entire show by herself.
Yeah.
Trying to think. All right. You said there was a lot of people. There's a lot of patients in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to just snoop around.
Okay.
Ask some of the, just snoop around, see what is in there, see if there's anybody recognizable.
Okay. As you begin to snoop around, you hear a loud banging coming from the front door of the mission, as if someone just banging on the door.
Okay. I open the door.
Okay. Let's see what this. So standing there, kind of in front of you, is a man, a Choltian, dressed in these flowing kind of garments that are dyed purples. He's got a gold necklace around his neck. He's got his hair back in a gold head wrap, and his beard has gold ornaments kind of tied into it. And he looks you up and down from foot to head, and kind of gives you this aghast look, and says that, "Are you here for treatment? You're not Mary."
I make the aghast noise right back at him, and then I say, "You're not Mary."
You're kind. And he pushes past Fives, and he calls into the mission, "Mary! Mary, it's time for payment."
Oh.
Guy sounds like a dick.
Yeah.
Just chop it off.
Yeah, I'm already
Jesus.
plotting to beat
I
him
want
senseless.
his gold adornments. I bet he's got some down there too.
It's like when I hear payment, I look over at these two, and I'm like, let's not make an altercation in here. This is a house of healing.
House of healing.
If it comes to a fight, at least take it outside.
No fight.
And you hear Mary begin to kind of, "Oh, 1 second, I'll be there in just a moment." And Ifrin and the man that walked in look at each other and kind of size each other up, and Ifrin stands up and says, these names, Wakinga, what brings you to see Miss Mary? And he looks at Ifrin and he says, "Ifrin," God damn it, Panzer. "Miss Mary pays me for allowing her to work here. This is my domain. You know this." And Ifrin just kind of nods. And he says, he turns to the four of you and he says, these four, I'm sorry, I don't know your names, adventurers saved one of our Triceratops today, and were kind enough to escort me to see Miss Mary for this wound." And he raises his arm, and Wakanga winces away at the sight of the wound and the blood.
Also, he's a wuss too.
So I think while this conversation is going on, Crest is going to be just kind of wandering aimlessly around the room, but he's actually making his way behind this guy that showed up. And as soon as there's a slight break in the conversation, Crest is just going to poke his head over the shoulder of this guy from behind and be like, "What do you mean your domain?"
And
Can I go back to just searching and identifying everybody that's in the place?
Sure. Wakanga looks back over his shoulder at Crest and raises an eyebrow and he says, "Clearly you are new to Port Naranzayu."
I am.
Oh, you must be new here.
He rubs his hands together and he says, "Well, let me tell you how we run our little city. For each Sorry, this is the DM struggling to find a word. For each discipline, there's a merchant priest or a merchant prince.
For each discipline, there is a merchant prince.
And when goods or services are supplied under our domain,
Goods and
we
services.
get a piece of that
Peace.
profit.
Profit.
And those that perform these goods and services are allowed to do so in safety.
Safety.
So you're a
So,
land pimp.
in a way, it's like taxes and security in one.
Exactly.
I don't like it.
Protection.
Too bad.
Fair?
Miss Mary pays me a very small, very reasonable stipend to make sure that the mission here is allowed to operate with less hassle than would be otherwise.
So, are the dino pens part of your domain too?
No, they are actually his, and he points over to Ifrin.
Well, Ifrin, I think you're lacking in the security part.
Yes, well, things happen. Is life important, Zayu?
Fair enough.
Much of life.
I'm not from here. I can't judge.
And Mary comes out, and you see her hand Wakagan 5 gold pieces. And he looks at Mary and he nods and he says, "Thank you. My daughter is feeling much better. I do not think that I will require a house call this week." And she smiles and she says, "That's fantastic. I'm so glad to hear that."
Can I slip into stealth
Sure.
during this?
Right
So-
in front of everybody?
No, I mean I'm wandering about, just repeating everything this guy was saying. Can I just kind of like fade into obscurity real quick?
Sure.
And can I then try to position myself closer to the dude,
Yeah.
Wakanda, whatever his name is?
Yeah.
Can I then maybe try to peek into his pocket?
You can try.
I would like to just look. Just
No
looking in his
peekies,
pocket.
just peekies.
Yeah, just looking.
Keep in mind, your healer has no more healing spells for the day.
Roll
okay
me
with-
a stealth check.
Okay. Boop. Also,
So
I'm
you
proficient.
go to so you went from a 10 to a 12.
Okay.
You go to
I
peek
don't-
into his pocket, and he even like holds it open a little bit for you to get a better look into his pocket, which now has the gold pieces that Mary gave him. And then he clears his throat, looking down at you, and he says, "I also deal in information. Keep your nose where it belongs, little Kinku."
Can I look up at him and say, information?
Yes, 5's information.
He knows my name.
There's nothing here in Port Naranzayu that happens that I don't know about it.
I want to drop 5 gold coins into his pocket
Go for it.
and then repeat information.
He smiles. "Now you understand. Very good. In fact," he looks around at the 4 of you, "when you are done with Miss Mary and Ifrin here, why not come visit me? I'm sure that there's plenty of information that can be passed back and forth." And he gives you directions to his villa.
I'm going to go back to waddling around, doing burp things.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing? Anything else, I guess, involving him before he leaves? Is a
No,
better question.
I give him a polite nod when he invites us to his villa for the exchange of information. But mainly, I'm looking around the healer's hall to see how how well equipped it is to handle injuries and the treatment of, if like she's able to treat people who come in, or if she's just scrapping by.
No, she is just scraping by.
Well, that's not good.
Question.
Yep.
Is all of this considered a rest?
No, so you actually have to take time to rest. If you guys want to spend time here and take a short rest or a long rest, that's completely fine. But you just got like, hey, we're taking a short rest. You gotta let me know.
Okay, I would like to take a short rest and just meditate for 30 minutes. Just
You
a
guys-
quick half hour sit and snooze. Just shoot the shit.
What about the rest of the party? You guys want to take a short rest or a long rest even here at the mission?
I think if anything, I would offer to help Mary in regards to treating any of the injured or anything. Being a fellow cleric of, and somebody who spent a lot of time healing back in Daggerford,
Okay.
I should at least make good on that.
What about Crest and Javaria? What do you guys want to do?
I'm all for taking a rest, but I will probably do it outside.
Okay.
Not a big fan of stuffy rooms with people.
Okay.
Not a big fan of
Are you just like out on the doorstep, or are you walking around, or how are you taking a rest outside?
Probably mostly on the doorstep, just kind of occasionally meandering around the building.
Okay. Javaria?
I'm only 2 hit points short. Hit points.
Hit pints? You've already hit a few pints, it sounds like.
Do it.
No, I am never drinking again. I might end up on a boat. No, I'm only like 2 hit points shy of at max, so I'm good on my rest. But since Fives and Lex have eyes on each other, technically, I'm going to follow Crest outside just so that we're not like leaving anybody on their own.
The buddy system.
Did you just put me on Fives duty?
Yes.
He's your problem now.
You're on Birdwatch.
Hey, I'm not doing much. I'm not getting into trouble. I'm just sitting, preening.
I know. I just find it funny that we have a Fives duty for the group.
If you don't have the buddy system, I get up on top of buildings and almost die and try to fight off archers and do a bunch of really cool things because I have a death wish.
Okay. So I think what we'll do is we'll actually give you guys a long rest. You'll spend the rest of the evening here at the mission. And that'll give you a long rest. So go ahead and replenish a hit die worth of hit points if you're down any. Replenish spells, all that gets in your key. Throughout the course of the evening, Mary comes by checking on each of you kind of individually, giving you a chance to talk with her. As she's like scampering between patients. And she spends a lot of time talking with Lexa, rather, about healing methods and about deities. So she spends a lot of time wanting to know about Lathander. She's like, this is not a deity that she's familiar with. She says, where I come from, the Lathander's not a name that we hear. Tell me about him.
You're going to have me go into a religious talk here?
You can give me a brief overview if you don't want to give me an in-character thing. But if you want to give me an in-character thing, Lathander might smile on you too.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how I can word this because Lathander's lore is expansive.
You can always roll for it.
Well, in the beginning.
Yeah, no, it's like in the beginning. No, because he was actually one of the hands out of due to a mistake that caused this cause, I believe it was the events of the second Sunder or something, and the spell plague.
The spell plague, that's what I was trying to
Yeah,
But
but now
you don't want to get into the spell plague stuff, man. I remember that from playing freaking Neverwinter Nights.
Yeah. All right, so you're just going to give her like an overview of Lathander? Like instead of a full history lesson?
Yeah, just going into who Lathander is and how for some some time he had fallen out of the grace of people due to the actions that led to the spell plague, but now he's slowly come back into the people's favor and is known as the Morning Lord. And he and his clerics are mainly focused on the celebration and the preservation of life in all its means.
She nods, and she like as you guys are talking, she clutches a medallion of that same sun symbol that was carved into the door, and she says, "That sounds very much like my Lord Pelor. Unfortunately, his name is not spoken around here much either, but he deals with the sun and with bringing joy to people and healing the sick. I believe that your lord and mine would get along well."
Indeed. They also seem to favor the sun as their holy symbol. As I present my symbol up, and it's the sun rising over the plains.
She nods, and she says, I have felt awkward with my lord lately. However, he does not answer my prayers as often as he used to. Ever since the sun, or excuse me, ever since the moon began to take on that strange shade.
She's talking about the blood moon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes, I noticed the moon taking that shade the moment we got closer and closer to the city. Also, we experienced some rather strange occurrences on our trip overseas.
She nods and she says, I fear that something is happening to the worlds, or to the planes. And she says planes at first, and then she catches and corrects herself, and to the worlds. And she looks at you, trying to see if you noticed her slip up.
No, I did. I mean, planes?
She says, "It's a long night. I used the wrong word."
Can I maybe do like an insight check? Seeing as how she was like maybe a little flustered when that was caught.
Yeah.
Where is insight? Oh, there.
Are you proficient in it?
I am proficient in insight.
Okay. So she means planes. She meant the original term that she used, but she's also kind of doesn't think that that's a thing that really is knowledgeable by most people. So in an effort to not have to explain it, she substituted the word world.
Is it more she didn't want to explain it, or is it like an uncomfortable thing for her?
A little bit of both.
Okay, if it's any uncomfort to her, I'm not going to push the matter.
Okay.
I'm like, yes, it's been a long day for many of us as well.
She nods and she says, "Well, thank you for the talk. I feel a bit more invigorated having shared my faith, and knowing that there are those out there that share similar values." And she excuses herself.
I'm going to put a bag of 25 gold on the table.
Okay.
And I'm just going to say this is for any supplies or anything you may need to help these people in their time of need.
She smiles and she says, Thank you. It will be most appreciated." I can't find a voice for her that I stick with. I've gone through 3.
That's right. I'm still trying to search for a voice for Alexis. Right now it's just me, but
No, your voice works. Your voice works. I'd be glad I'm not constantly trying to talk like a freaking bird for you guys. That'll get old hella quick.
So she makes her way around the mission some more, and then she makes it a point to come and find Fives, and sit down with Fives for a minute and how was your voyage here? Making sure that she's spending time talking to Fives and having a
I'm doing a
conversation.
lot of listening, but not really conversing back. I do have a question for her, though.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm looking. I'm trying to think how I can put this in a way that would work for fives. So I ask. I look at her and ask you. You tend injured, yes?
She nods. She says, "I do. I take care of those in need."
In need. Anybody in need?
She nods. She says, "Yes."
I want to repeat back what the guy on the rooftop told me, with his voice or whatever, mimicking it as best I can.
If you know what's good for you, don't get involved.
Yeah, that thing
Okay.
in that guy's voice. And so I say that, and I ask, know this?
She looks at you very confused. Is there something I shouldn't be getting involved with you? Have I asked a question that makes you uncomfortable? I'm sorry, Fives. That was not my intent.
Very frustratingly, I say, no, never mind.
And she nods.
I have no idea how the hell to ask this question. It's very frustrating for a bird.
And
Aw.
she looks at your shoulder, and where the feathers have been ripped off, but the skin is like pink from the healing. And she says, "Does that hurt? Do you need an ointment or a bandage?"
Need find man that did this.
She nods. I understand. I cannot help you, but I understand.
Okay. I have nothing more to say.
Okay.
I'm not good at talking to people. People don't ever talk to me.
Mary spends some more time making sure that everyone in the mission is getting settled in for the evening. And at about sunset, she opens the front door of the mission and comes out to sit down on the steps out by Crest. And she smiles when she does, and she says, "Is there anything that I can do for you? Are you in need of anything?"
Glass of fresh water would be nice.
She's a little taken back by your response. She says, "I would imagine that you have enough water."
Oh, you can never have enough water.
The fresh water. She says, "Just a moment." And she goes back into the mission and grabs. A few moments later, she comes back out of the front door with a wooden bucket. She says, I will make the trip down to the well for you. Give me a few moments."
I can accompany you if you'd like.
"Sure." She nods.
Is Javaria there with us, or?
I'm in the area, but I'm still staying by the front door.
Gotcha.
Keep a guard.
So she, as you guys are walking towards the well, and it's across Mara's throat and up like a steep hill. So it's a walk that's going to take you a little while. She asks you questions. "How was your voyage to Cholt?"
It was eventful.
She nods. She says, "I imagine that voyages can be that way. I myself try to stay away from waters that run that deep."
Oh, I would live on those waters if I could. Well, I can, but it would be awfully lonely.
She nods. She says, "You look like the type. Yes, that doesn't surprise me at all."
And he just kind of like beams with delight when she says that. He's very proud of his water heritage.
About that time, you guys crest the hill where the well is dug, and well's probably an overstatement for this thing. It's a hole in the ground with some rocks around it. There's not a crank. There's a piece of rope that's been tied around one of the rocks, and she ties the other end to the bucket and lowers it in. And you can hear the bucket bounce across the walls of the well as it echoes back up as it's lowered down. And you can hear it like a squish sound as it hits the bottom. And she keeps a smile on her face the whole time that this happens. And then slowly begins to pull the bucket up by the rope. And when she does, it comes back up and it's full of this muddy, dark water. And she says, "I know, just bear with me for a moment." And she kind of says something over the bucket like under her breath, and she's holding her medallion in her hand. And a moment later, the water in the well, or excuse me, the water in the bucket is sparkling and clean. And she picks the bucket up with both hands and says, "Shall we return to the mission?"
That was fascinating. Is that magic you used, or what is that medallion you were holding?
She nods and she says, "This is," and she shows you the medallion. She says, "This is Pelor, my lord, and it was some of his magic smiled upon the waters to cleanse them."
I think I like this lord of yours.
She says, "I like him.
He's God is a good God.
He's a good god."
So, on the way back, since we're kind of alone, I think I'm
We're
gonna.
alone. No, sorry.
I think I'm gonna take this opportunity to ask her if she has heard rumors of zombies that retain their memories and kind of personalities.
She says, "No, I have enough to do with my mission to. I do not bother myself with rumors. The only zombies that I see are the ones that find their ways out of the jungles of Cholt and to my doorstep on occasion."
Understood. Thank you for your help.
She nods. And she makes small talk with you as you guys make your way back to the mission. Once you get to the doorstep, she takes the bucket inside, sets it down on the ground, and goes off to find a glass. And then a few moments later brings it out to you with a cup of clean water.
And I'll take it and give her a polite bow and kind of go back to my reclusive ways on the doorstep.
Okay. And she'll go back in and tend to people, but before the end of the night, she comes out, actually probably just after dusk, comes out and finds Javaria, and finds her fairly easily, even though, like, I have the feeling Javaria is probably trying to blend into the shadows and not stand out very much. She just kind of walks right up to you, and she says, how is your side? I noticed some fresh wounds there earlier today."
I lift up my arm and just do a real light pat, pat. It's good. Kind of
She nods and kind of like furrows her brow, seeing the gashes where you're like missing fur from where the claws got you. She says, "That looks awfully painful, but I am glad that you are feeling better." She says, is there anything that you need? Can I do anything for you, or?
What is this? And I just hand her the jar.
Oh God.
Don't give it away, please.
She pops the seal open and takes a big like sniff. Oh, she closes it back up. Oh, are you planning to go into the jungles?
Yes.
Keep that. She hands it back to you. You will want to, unfortunately, slather yourself with it. That keeps the biting insects of the jungles away from you.
Imagine it keeps a good many things away from me.
Well, don't try to find a date when you're wearing it.
And I'm just giggling at the fact that I just smeared this in Lex's face. Like,
She says, but it will do you many favors, keeping the biting insects and the diseases that they carry away from you.
so not too bad a ripoff. I'm
It's-
thinking back and it only cost me 2 gold now.
She shrugs. She says, it's fairly common. Maybe cost you 50 copper.
Paid. Yeah.
You just see her ears go back like, I'm gonna go shank me a merchant.
And then, is there anything else that Javaria wants to talk with Mary about?
Well, since I wasn't there when she asked about the whole "Are you aware of sentient zombies" or anything, but I'm gonna be a little bit more direct about it and ask if she's heard anything about this nanny poo-poo.
She nods. She says, "I've heard stories that she can bring people back from the dead, even with this whatever." And she makes the hand motion at the sky. But she says, "But the people aren't right when they come back, and I hear that she does not practice wholesome ways."
Okay, so she's a little bit more than just a rumor, because no, like she's literally mulling this over in her head. It's like, do I really want to find this thing?
I would prefer that you come to my mission if you need assistance, and not seek out those that may do you harm. However, if the death is imminent, then maybe she is the one you need to see.
Oh, keep that in mind. Do you happen to know where she might possibly be located, or is she simply a ghost I'm chasing?
She is a story that I hear, but I hear it too often to think that she's not real. As to where, I don't know. I don't get out of my mission very often. There are people here that need my help.
Understandable. We should go find an inn.
Did you say you should go find an inn?
Yes.
She says, "No, don't bother. Rest here for the evening. I have room. It won't be very comfortable, but you are all welcome."
Alright, I am going to go find myself a cot.
I am fine just squatting where I'm squatting.
Okay.
Just make sure you clean up after yourself.
Never.
So you guys spending the night at the mission?
Hi.
Might as well.
Yep.
That silence after a GM rolls a roll.
Yeah, no, that's like it's definitely
I still
the big number. And a big number.
know how I still don't know how to gauge that. So
So is anybody staying outside, like on the roof or anything? Are you spending, or is everybody spending their time in the mission for the evening?
I think Crest is probably still outside.
Okay. So Crest, if you had bones that could ache when the weather changes, they would. So as the sun sets, there's a rough, hard wind that comes in from the east off the shoreline. And along with it roll in dark, thick clouds.
You talking like storm, like rain?
Yeah. And a few moments later, the sky lights up with lightning, and the sound of thunder just kind of rolls through the air as it begins to just pour rain, going from like nothing to absolute downpour in a matter of seconds. And you see the people in Mylar's throat scurrying to try to get to high ground.
Oh, so flooding too, mother.
Yay!
So I think, despite this kind of being not something you want to stand out in the middle of, Crest is actually going to be doing just that, because it's kind of that elemental chaos that he wished he had while he was in the elemental plane.
Okay.
So he's very excited by it.
All right, and as it begins to rain, the rains just kind of pour down the sides of this cliff. So Naren's throat is built up to where you have the road that goes through it, and you have kind of the buildings on either side, and then just behind them are these like red mud cliffs. So the water that pours down those cliffs and into the street of Mylar's throat is this red tainted copper rust colored water that just kind of rushes by, and it starts out probably deep enough that it's like would cover your ankles, but quickly begins to build up to where it's like mid shin and up to your knees, just in a matter of moments. Mary sticks her head out the door of the
Well,
of the mission.
travelers, you are joined on your adventure today by a giant named Kanye.
Lucan has G. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the game. Sticks her head out of the door of the mission for a moment, looking up and down the street, and she calls out to Crest, kind of over the downpour and the thunder, and she says, "You may want to come in. It will get bad." And then she kind of closes the door and kind of pulls her tunic tight around her neck and closes the door.
I think Crest will probably kind of take her advice there. But if there's any windows that he can kind of stay glued to watch it, that's what he'll be doing.
It's like a kid looking at snow.
Exactly.
So after you come in, Mary goes over and puts a big, I don't know what the term for this, like 4x4 lock into the door. I'm sure there's a term for it. Like a big piece of wood that you just drop. What is it?
I think it's a crossbar.
Crossbar? That'll work. So she drops a big crossbar behind the door, and you can, and as you're watching the waters flood and rise through the window, you can see the door actually like being pushed in against the crossbar by the torrent of water that's just flooding down.
I'll keep an eye out for any like kind of severe amount of water that might make its way inside, but otherwise I'll just be looking out the window.
Okay. And Mary finishes up her rounds, securing the mission, and she kind of finds you all gathered together at some point in the mission. And she looks at you and she says, "I may have a favor to ask in the morning."
Of course.
Rains like this usually wash things out of the jungles. Things that I would rather not have crawling around Mylar's throat or my mission. You four seem to be capable adventurers. I would appreciate it if you could maybe clean up the throat in the morning.
Cleaning up is one of our specialties.
She smiles and nods. She says, "Thank you. Please find a place to rest. I have a room in the back if you need a cot. Otherwise, I will tend to my patients throughout the evening." And she does, and that's kind of what she spends the rest of the night doing, is just kind of tending to people there at the mission that need her assistance, offering medicine, changing bandages, whatever. Is there anything in particular you guys want to do, or are you guys just kind of resting for the night?
Well, we're supposed to meet up with this other guy. Well, that can wait till tomorrow. Nah, I'm content just resting for the night.
Okay.
Fi's got a little bit embarrassed just trying to communicate with her in the first place, so he's just kind of receding for the evening. Just
Poor
done.
turkey.
What about Lexus?
Howdy.
Lexus is going to do whatever he can to help Mary out around the mission.
Okay.
They're like the injured in there if she needs any assistance tending to them.
Okay. Most of the injured are, well, they vary as far as their injuries go, but most of them definitely look like they're not well off. They've come to this mission probably because they have no other place to go for treatment. Some of them are there and have clear injuries, broken arms or bites from dinosaurs. Others are there and they're just like coughing up blood, running fever, different diseases that you've actually not really sure what to do with, because these are things that you wouldn't see kind of outside of Chult.
Yeah.
So most of them that are running fever have a dark red tint to their skin as well, and are sweating profusely. Others that are like coughing up blood have these black tendrils of infection running through their arms, even though there's no sign of like an infection site. But yeah, so you spend the evening assisting her however you can, and she guides you and says, for these suffering from the red fever, please give them this, and she hands you a bottle. She says, give them three drops on their tongue. She says, if no more and no less, no less, and it will be ineffective. More, and you run the risk of making the fever worse. And she says, for those with the creeping black, she says, you must go and find the ends of the tendrils and slit their skin to allow the infection to remove itself. And she hands you like a really kind of a crappy dagger to do it with. And she says, if you can, collect the infection in a bowl. I'm trying to study and figure out better ways for treatment. But for now, purging the body of it seems to be the best method.
Okay. And like Alexis is just going to get right to it.
Okay.
Like the whole treating of infections and like bleeding them out and everything doesn't bother him.
Bothers me.
Because I think back in Daggerford, he did the same thing, even though not with like the creeping black or anything like that. He's had to cut things out
Just
of people.
bleed. Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Cut out arrow tips or something.
Yeah, the bloody work of being a healer.
All right. Crust is Crust doing anything for the evening, or is he just kind of watching the torrent of rain?
He's just watching. Like I said, kind of keeping an eye out for any water that might make its way in, so he can kind of shape water it back out.
Okay. And some does push under the door, and you've got a couple of spots in the roof of the mission where the rain leaks through. But it actually holds surprisingly well against the torrent of like mud and water.
Then I will just spend the night being enamored by the storm outside.
Okay. What about Javaria? What's she up to for the rest of the evening?
She's grooming the turkey.
Okay.
She's white.
Grooming the turkey.
Is that phrasing? I'm not entirely sure.
Nope. Don't go there.
It might be.
Don't. No.
I think it might be.
No.
Um.
No.
Yeah. That
Maybe.
perfect. That seems like a good place for us to take our last break for the night.
Maybe.
So you folks that are watching, thanks so much for hanging out. We appreciate it. Hopefully you're enjoying the show. If you are, go ahead and hit the follow button if you haven't done so already. That way you know when we go live. We do have a couple shows a week on this channel. So Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night. Yeah, so hit the follow button, and we're going to take a quick 5-minute break, and we will be right back. Thanks so much for watching, guys. All right, we're back.
I'm not touching that
And
one.
Mags is already laughing. Jesus
I'm not
Christ.
touching that one. Oh, hey, hi everybody.
I'm slightly uncomfortable right now.
Mags is laughing. HB Fox is slightly uncomfortable. It sounds like a normal Sunday night.
I'm just threatening to squeeze a snake. It's fine.
But she can't. 'cause
So-
it's poisonous. She can't because it's poisonous. It would literally kill her.
We are 12.
I'm not going to dignify any of that with a response. I'm going to go find tokens.
Just did.
There we go.
So, not much. It's all good. You did not miss. Nothing was missed. Nothing.
I'm glad.
Just the fact that Fox is always wet, like all the time.
I said damp.
Damp, always damp, which is a form of wetness. Wetness.
That's one step below wet.
So it's like wet light.
Diet wet.
There you go.
Wet. Diet cherry wet. Sorry. I'll stop.
That's fine. I'm have to set up to kill you
I'm
guys anyway.
not gonna stop. I said I was gonna stop, but that was a lie. I'm sorry.
Dude, Spooner, I love the picture of Vibes riding the Triceratops.
I wanted to ride the trains. I wanted to ride. I imagine that this is what Fives was doing when he's supposed to be napping. He's just like sketching on a piece of paper.
Like, this is me.
He's
Totally.
drawing in one of Crest's books.
Oh
that
god.
I
my God,
secretly
over
stole
his-
while he was enjoying the rain.
Keep your claws off my books.
I love it.
Who let me ask you guys a question. When your characters go into a dungeon or open a door to a room for the first time, who leads the charge?
I think that would be me since I've got the shield.
I put my hand up first. I win.
Okay.
No,
No,
that's not how
it-
that's-
Yeah, but
Who
unfortunately,
opens
both-
doors with their face?
I think that would be Fives, yeah.
The only way to check a bush is with your face. You got to face check the bush.
Do it that way. All right.
Yeah,
Phrasing?
unfortunately, Fives and I both have Death Wish. So, I mean,
And I'm just sitting there with the heal spell ready when they catch something to the face.
So you guys get up in the morning, and Mary's already up. She's already running around, changing bandages and doing everything. But she greets you with a pot of coffee as you wake up, or a cup of coffee for each of you. And she says, not to rush you, please enjoy your breakfast or your coffee. However, the street outside does need your attention in cleaning it up.
I look at the coffee, and this is real life. I've never actually had more than a handful of sips of coffee my entire life. What's coffee?
She smiles. She says, it's what I like to have in the morning. You don't have to drink it if you don't want. But she hands you this cup of hot brown liquid.
I drink. the
Describe
hot
it like
brown-
that. It sounds disgusting.
I drink the hot
How
brown.
else do you describe coffee?
It's hot brown, sometimes black, liquid.
It's dirt water. Caffeinated dirt water.
it's a hug in a cup.
Oh, I
I
love coffee.
immediately spit out the coffee that I just drank all over Crest.
Do you mind turkey?
Hot, not turkey.
As
And then I make the gobble noise at him.
I drink the coffee, and I thank Mary for it before just walking right towards the front door.
Okay. What about the rest of you? Are you following Lexa?
Don't call me Lexa. Damn it.
Lexus? There you go. I will
Just call me Lex.
Lex.
Just call me Lex. It's a hell of a lot easier.
Hey,
Luther.
Luther.
Jinx.
High five!
So the rest of you following Lex.
With my cup of coffee in hand, yes.
Okay. What about Fives and Javara?
I think I'm gonna use this as a weapon.
Okay.
Okay.
Throw a hot pot.
Lep.
Listen, unless we're fighting McDonald's, I don't think it's gonna be very effective.
All right. So Lex swings the door open to the mission. The ground out in front of the mission is covered in this now thick red mud. The morning is starting to dry out some of the mud into kind of the ground that it normally is. However, stuck in the mud are some creatures. And
In the front. Oh, damn.
yeah, in the front and kind of all around the mission. You have these creatures that are stuck in the mud that you can only assume is what Mary was referring to. Oh, you know what we should do? We haven't done yet this session.
Hmm.
Roll me initiative.
That's a lot of zombies.
That's fine.
It'll be fine.
Okay, where are you, initiative? Hey!
Between
I should probably click on him. I keep forgetting to do that.
Woof.
Do you want me to re-roll the initiative?
No, I can take care
All
of it. Hang on. Where are you? Nope, that's Crest.
Stop rolling
Head
so
turn.
high.
You had a what? 11?
Yeah.
Crest is the only one that did it right.
What? No. Yes.
You have to click on your token and then roll in order for it to read.
In order for it to add it to the table properly, so that I don't have to do things.
Okay. Do I have to roll again? 'Cause
No,
that was really
I got
close.
it. I got it.
Okay. Cool.
It's
Cool.
no big
Sorry.
deal. I'm just
Sorry,
giving you a
God.
bunch of shit. It's fine.
Since I'm the only one that did it right, I feel like you should probably add 10 to my initiative.
God,
I
I'm
might
sorry.
give you an extra turn.
That works.
Jeez.
I don't think I'm gonna add 10
Hers
to
is an
yours.
angry god.
There's a lot of zombies, guys.
Yeah. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
You can blame my halfway decent 3d6 roll for this.
No. It's just Jesus.
But the good thing is, there we go. They're stuck in the mud, so their movement sucks a lot.
Sweet.
All right, there we go. Descending. 5, 10. Okay, that one's done. 5s. You can see over Lex's shoulder the creature stuck in the mud, and as the door flies open, they turn their attention towards you. However, because they are stuck, the mud weighing thick on their legs and knees, they can't move very quickly. What are you doing?
How affected would I be by the mud?
Well, because it's beginning to dry now, not so affected. You can
Okay.
walk normally.
But so when you say dry, I mean like they're like knee deep in it, then it's drying and they're kind of getting set in the mud?
Yeah,
Or-
pretty much.
Okay. In
Somebody's
that
figuring out
case,
spells.
in that case, I'm gonna. But how far are we looking here? Yep.
Don't
Oh, that's
cross the
nothing.
beams.
Don't cross the beams. Oh no! All right, no. Yeah. In that case, I'm going to throw some darts at that one. Wait, this is shift. How do I ping?
You hold it down. You hold
Click and
the-
hold.
Yeah, click and hold
Gotcha.
on them.
That one.
Caps Panda, thank you for the host.
I'm gonna throw darts at that one.
Sorry, which one?
Boop.
Okay.
Snoop. I'm gonna go. Whoopah!
That'll hit.
And it's
And-
gonna go.
-6, all right. Zambi turn. Oh wait, this is not the person that I. Those were not the. I switched those people. Those should have been there.
All the same, I attack the one.
Yeah, but it changes who I'm attacking.
Oh wait, son of a bitch! Mm-mm.
Well, you said you would go out with Lex when the door got thrown
Yeah,
open.
yeah. I just
Crest did not, and I just had you and Crest switched. So as you are throwing your darts, one of the zombies shuffles up to you, kind of from the side, pawing at you, to make his attack. And how do I? What's the best way for me to do this? It's probably gonna be this. Isn't it? And then we're gonna pop this out.
zombies. No.
Okay. So he is going to make an attack against you. Does a 14 hit your AC?
It meets my AC. My AC is 14.
So no. So it doesn't beat your AC.
Okay, cool.
So the way that I normally do that is because you guys are the heroes of the story. On a tie, I will roll in your favor.
Okay, cool.
So no. So he claws at you, trying to attack you, but is not able to actually reach you.
Gotcha.
His legs are stuck a little too far away. This other one, however, I want to I don't know that I want to use slam. I want to just do an unarmed attack.
Slam.
That's pretty much what their unarmed attack is.
Is it just slam?
Yeah, it's just called slam.
Okay.
Let the
Mainly
boys be boys.
Mainly because the zombies are uncoordinated, so no matter what they do, it's like they're slamming into you.
Yeah, I guess it's a 1d6. That's not terrible. Okay. So he's going to attempt to hit you as well, and does not do so good with his 6.
I'm the untouchable burb. For now.
Oh, actually, it should have just been 2. Okay. You ever get that feeling that something's just kind of moving closer? I just moved that one, didn't I? Yeah. Okay. So Lex's turn.
All right, so the way that we're set up on the map here, are we outside at the moment, or
Yeah. So the door to
I assume the door is like
the
this
mission is
square
like right
here.
here.
Okay,
Where that line is.
all right. So if that's where the line is, and we're supposed to be keeping them away from the mission, I want to move here to stop any forward advancement, hoping that Crest and Javaria have our backs.
Okay.
And I'm going to make an attack on this one.
Go for it.
Warhammer. Damn.
So you make an attack and you hit him in the shoulder with the warhammer, and an arm that was pretty much useless to him already just kind of falls off. He doesn't seem to notice.
It's just like, eh.
Like that arm was already useless. It's fine. Javaria, what are you doing?
I am going to take my also trusty sling, and I'm gonna go whack this one.
Okay.
Ba-ba-ba.
That'll
Nice.
hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Oh, derp. I was like, wait, how do I do that? But yeah, I got it.
8. So just. Oh, okay. So it's +3 because of your dex. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. -8. I was just like, that's high for what I expected out of a sling. Okay. Crest, what is he up to?
Well, since we are in a bit of a threat situation, time to put on the armor. Which also activates my arcane ward there.
All right. So what does Crest's mage armor look like? Like, how does that change his appearance?
It kind of just gives a shimmer or a sparkle to the cloak that he typically wears. Kind of like a sky blue, whitish shimmer to it. Almost like there's blue metallic threads weaved through the fabric.
Okay. And then you also get a bonus to your hit points from the Arcane Ward?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Slow zombie. Oop. So that one is actually going to come up and probably just take a swipe at Crest. That's not the one I want. There we go. 21 hit your AC? I'm assuming
That will.
is. So he reaches up and like grabs at your neck, and you can feel his like rotting fingers kind of digging into the skin as he pulls back from it, like giving you a long gash and scratch down across your neck and shoulder.
Good thing I have those temporary hit points.
It is. That was that one.
God, that is a lot of zombies.
Don't worry, I'll all be dead.
Re-dead.
They have pretty poop hit points and AC, so
They'll be
I
re-dead.
think you guys will be fine. Unless you get swarmed like this. HP
Like
Fox. Does a 17 hit your AC?
That also does, yes.
All right, so you have another one that is climbing on you, pulling kind of your head back, his hands digging into like your scalp, leaving like long scratches just kind of down the back of your neck. Why are they picking on the wizard? I don't know.
It's like
Like,
almost they know he's the easiest to hit.
Apparently, this one's gonna go for 5s.
Nope.
Does it? Nope. Okay. 5s. What are you up to?
I'm going to start beating the living snot out of all of them. So I'm gonna start with I'm gonna use one. Shit, if I want to make sure I do this right, where are you, Compendium? I should just keep you open forever. Forever and ever. Okay, so I'm going to attack one of them. And I'm going to attack this one. If it will let me do the thing, which it's not letting me do no more.
Make sure you're on the cursor.
I am on the cursor. Okay, you know the one right in front of Lex? Okay.
You're on the ruler. That's why. It's this one, isn't
Durr,
it?
smart. Yeah, that one. The one right in front of Crest. I'm going to take an unarmed strike on him.
Okay.
So, shabam.
That'll hit.
All right, and rolling damage.
Okay.
Nice.
And now I'm going to spend one key to do Flurry of Blows, which lets me get 2. Let's see. Flurry of Blows make 2 unarmed strike as a bonus action.
Okay. Are you making it against the same one or against different ones or what?
One on the same one and one on the one adjacent to him.
Sounds good. Go ahead and give me
Okay,
the first one.
The first one, same one,
Mm-hmm. That'll hit.
and hello, Bueller. I'm clicking. There we go.
Yeah, roll 20 is being slow. I'm going to take the first one there.
Okay, cool.
-5. Okay. And go ahead and give me the roll against the next one.
The second one, the one adjacent, gets hit,
That'll hit.
and there's a damage.
Very nice. All right.
Pumping out them numbers.
Zambi turn. All right. So the Zambi that you hit isn't terribly happy about that and is going to retaliate.
Damn. All right, connects.
So he takes a punch to the chest from your flurry of blows, but then in the like as your fist is connecting, he latches onto your arm with his fingers and just rakes his nails kind of down your forearm, digging into the skin. All right, and
So that's
the-
3 damage, right?
yeah, it's 3 damage.
Okay.
And the other one that you hit,
Whoop.
that'll hit as well.
That hits.
So he actually, like, as you hit him, grabs onto your like chest, or not, like your ribs, and you can feel like the nails digging in, pulling at the skin and at the flesh, trying to like just rip chunks out.
It's just a flesh wound. It's okay. I've been through worse. I got killed by me on a boat. Well, like doppelganger me. I'm good.
Killed by me on a boat.
Crest,
Is in some shit right now.
15 hit your AC.
That matches my AC.
Okay, so no, it doesn't. All right. And this one goes to. All right, Lex, what are you up to?
I think I'm going to have to do this here.
Papa
So
bless.
my 3 friendos are going to get blessed.
Okay.
What does that do?
Roll a d4 and add the rolled number to the attack roll or saving throw.
Sweet. You read much better than I do.
Yeah. I just skimmed it till there's the dice part. That's what I wanted.
Right. I'm like, I gotta learn how to find where the hell the word just letter D and then a number. Ignore everything else.
Yeah, attacker saving throws, and you get an extra d4 on them.
Word.
Well, travelers, you are joined on your adventure today by a
Kitty cat.
giant named Kanye.
Tavo, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the game. Max, what's Javaria up to?
I'm going to. Oh my god, they're getting way too close for comfort. I'm gonna take on that one with the tongue does not work today with another slingshot to the face.
Okay. Super close range, so disadvantage. Doesn't matter. 15 hits. Go ahead and roll your damage. 4. Okay. -4. All right. Anything else?
I think that's gonna be it.
No movements.
I think I need to stay right where I am.
Okay. HB Fox, what is Crest doing?
So I think I'm going to target the one directly north of me with that.
This one here.
Yes.
Okay. Range spell attack against the creature. Okay.
And I assume because it's a zombie, it's undead.
It is.
So it also has disadvantage on attack rolls against me until the end
Okay.
of my next turn.
So range spell attack from you, which I believe is just what, d20 plus your intelligence modifier.
Yes, I think so. That should be.
Oh,
That'll hit. All right, so he takes 4 damage, and you said he was slowed.
He has disadvantage on attack
Disadvantage.
rolls against me until the end of my next turn.
All right, let me mark that with that. Okay. 1, 2.
I'm an idiot.
Crest. This is not the one that you just smacked. This is a different one. This is the almost dead one, but I don't think an 8 hits your AC.
Nope.
Okay. 1, 2. Yep. That's the one that just went. And Crest again. This is the one that hit you, so he has disadvantage on his attack. Or this is the one that you hit, rather. So disadvantage is a 14. 14 doesn't hit your AC.
Nope.
All right, and this one is attacking 5s.
excuse me.
7
attacking
does not.
fives.
7
no,
doesn't.
it's futile. Futile to attack the bird.
All right, what is 5s doing?
Five's gonna freaking. I'm gonna beat this dude. I hit him.
All right,
Hit him with the thing. Go!
that'll hit. Damage.
Yeah! Does that much.
All right,
And my bonus action, I'm gonna attack the same one. Is he still standing?
he is still standing.
Fuck that guy. Let's do it again.
That'll hit.
And please die.
That'll kill him.
Yahoo! I got one. Hey,
Good job. Now do that again.
All right,
I'm trying.
Zambi number this one is gonna move up next to Lex actually, and make an attack against Lex.
How dare you?
Oh, it's rude.
How dare you, sir? How rude.
I don't think that's gonna hit though. It's fine. Pretty sure a 7 doesn't hit your AC.
Not even close.
This one just gonna shuffle forward and attack Javara.
Rude.
21 hit your AC.
Yeah. Ow.
So this one, reaches up and just like goes to reach for you and kind of grabs your wrist and like jerks it, and your hand like comes free of his arm, but it's enough to like hurt your shoulder. Basically, he did a whole 2 damage, so not very effective
Wait.
there.
Stop that.
Crest is getting picked on.
A lot.
Well, he's very shiny.
17
That's true.
hits you.
Yes, it does.
So 5 damage there. So you have this one that was like clawing at your neck earlier has gotten his hand kind of around your throat, and you can feel the fingernails digging in around your windpipe as you kind of begin to struggle to breathe.
Damn, son.
This one, 5s.
Do it. Bring it.
If it'll roll, there it goes. I don't think 7's not going to hit though.
Nope.
All right, Lex.
These poor zombies.
Does anybody have
All right.
AoE?
Give me one moment. I'm almost. Okay. So I need to add more to this, but
Shit, he brought out the Texas Instruments calculator. Run for the hills.
I'm an idiot. I am the worst cleric ever of all time, and I apologize for it.
I was waiting on it.
I'm like, we're fighting undead. Why is the cleric not beating the living shit out of
you go.
everything?
I was like, where is Turn Undead? All right, is this a saving throw?
Wisdom
It is a
saving throw.
Wisdom.
12.
I'm only going to roll 1 for the whole horde, because I don't want to sit out here and roll it fucking
11 times.
11 more times. But it's fine.
Oh, it is definitely fine.
Yeah. So, Turn Undead normally sends these creatures just like turning around and running away, right?
Yeah, they just try to get as far away from me as possible.
So, when Lex pulls out his Medallion of Lathander, actually, what does it look like when Lex casts Turn Undead? Let me ask that first.
When Lex casts it, being in Aasimar, when he holds the symbol of Lathander up in the air, a bright just like a bright sun, like this beam of sunlight emanates from the pendant itself, but then like behind him, just like it's like this luminescent set of wings like flare up behind him for just a brief moment.
Okay. So, when you cast Turn Undead, all of that happens except for the beam of light that comes from the pendant is instead of like this glorious sunlight is this sick red color, the same shade that the moon has been turning. And instead of the zombies turning and fleeing, they all catch fire and
Damn.
disintegrate.
So my Turn Undead turned into Destroy Undead.
Hashtag whoops.
No. Good.
And a moment later, the air is kind of filled with the ash of these things as they like whiff through the air. And then a moment later, you can hear the sounds of mourning in Port Naranzayu beginning to filter down from the town. And the smell of burning rotten flesh is replaced with that of the spices. And yeah.
Well done.
I did not know that would happen.
It's actually very concerning to you that it does.
Yeah, it's like normally this just causes the undead to flee from me. But here it destroys them.
And
That's really so
As you know, as he's like he says that questioningly, looking at his medallion. As I noticed the red light that came from it, and that for sure has never happened before.
And from behind you, a voice speaks up, and you hear Mary say, "That's been happening with me as well, and is concerning. It didn't start to happen until the moon began to take on that shade. I fear that there's something going on."
Have any of your other clerical abilities been affected in any way?
She shakes her head. She says, "Nothing that you don't know about. I haven't been able to raise those that have died, but that seems to be across the world."
Indeed. We saw a couple of them in Baldur's Gate.
And she nods. She says, I don't know. I hope that this is all just connected, and whenever it gets figured out, the world will return to normal."
Let us hope that is sooner than later.
She nods.
The last
And then-
thing I would want is any of our abilities that are meant to help people to harm them.
She says, "Yes, I pray that it doesn't come to that." And at that point, she turns and walks back into the mission to begin her daily routine of healing and helping.
So if we're just in open stuff now.
Yeah,
Open
what do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna suggest we go get more information from Information Man.
So you want to go to the prince's villa?
I would
Yeah,
have to
the
agree.
guy that I paid money to for quote unquote information.
Okay. The rest of you kind of agree with that idea, or
I mean, if he's going to go, we have to go with him so that he can articulate the proper questions, since his vocabulary is a bit limited.
what about Crest?
Yeah, he'll probably just kind of quietly follow, with a little bit of an irritated expression on his face as he rubs the wounds on his neck.
Aww.
We don't naturally heal, do we?
With rest, you do. Yeah. So when you take a long rest, you get a hit dice back.
All right, so he walks over, or I walk over to Crest, kind of with like an apologetic look on my face that I didn't think of turning the undead sooner, and I just place my hand on his shoulder, and I use my racial ability, which allows you to regain HP equal to my level, but you also get 2 on top of that due to my life domain. So you're going to regain 4.
So I think after that happens, Crest is just gonna kind of give him an understanding pat on the shoulder.
It is, and I'm kind of making my way towards the villa at a hurried pace. Now that I've seen what has happened when I use my ability, I am a little more concerned about our situation in Chult than I originally was.
Okay.
As we're oh no, go ahead. I was
No.
gonna say as we're walking through, I sniff something on the air and I look over at Javaria and I see that jar and I kind of just peck at it and point at it and look at her and just, what's in jar?
Something to keep rid of infection when we go to the jungle.
Gift jar?
Don't lose it. Don't break it. And they give it to him.
I added the jar of funk to my my equipment. It's just there.
Whenever
Jar.
you open it, We Got the Funk starts playing.
I'm just gonna covet the jar, like hopping from foot to foot.
Okay.
Take a little bit of it and put it on my wound.
So you guys make your way through Port Naranzayu to the Prince's Villa, which is actually 4 up here. I should pull that up for everybody, I suppose.
Where are we going?
And as you approach the villa, there are guards stationed out front. It's number 4. It's up here.
Oh wow.
All those pings.
Yeah, no, sorry. I was
No worries.
scrolled way down to the fucking bottom of the map
Yeah.
for some reason.
So it takes you guys a little while to get there. It's probably from where you were. It's probably a half-hour walk through the merchants and stalls and the traffic and the dinosaurs. And what you have to do is you have to actually walk out to this over here on the west side of the town, and then up and around to get to the villa, because it's up on the hills that overlook the rest of Port Naranzayu.
What is in this area right here leading to the villa?
That is
Like both those areas.
Sorry, I saw 7. I saw one area. What were they?
That one.
That one. Okay.
Pretty much the 2 areas that we're walking through getting to the villa.
That is all part of the same area, and that is a temple of Savaris, which is the deity of wizards, fortune tellers, diviners, and those who unfailingly speak the truth, regardless of whether listeners want to hear it or not.
God of brutal honesty.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm trying to see if anything of interest as you guys are passing by is there. No. So it's a temple, but from the outside, like you guys don't see anything going on. The smell of incense is a lot stronger, and spices is a lot stronger as you pass by the temple, which sits atop the crest of the hill. So right there. The other point that you pinged here is a kind of a makeshift ritualistic area. It's a tent that's been put up where people are performing rites. But most of those look to be like scrying bowls, as far as like what their actual rites are looking like.
So it's to me it's sort of something that's more of like Crest's area of expertise.
Probably, yeah. You probably have no idea like what the bowls or what are doing, why there are people staring into them.
Yeah,
That fucking looks weird.
it looks over with. I just look over with like an interest, but in my mind I'm like Crest stuff.
How does Crest actually walking through this area and being familiar kind of with what's going on? What does Crest do? How does he react?
He tries not to visually react to anything, but
Yeah.
he's actually really, really eager to stop in here and see if he can get some information from these people that may help him in breaking the curse on the gem lady that's around his neck.
Okay. So you're not stopping though? You're just going to continue on with the group, and you're not saying anything to them?
Not yet, since we're kind of on a mission, so to speak. But once we're kind of finished with this merchant prince guy, I think I'm probably going to make a note to either return here by myself or convince everyone else to come with me.
Okay. So you guys walk past the temple and across the bridge that spans the street below you, up to this villa that towers above the rest of Port Naranzayu. The only structure around that actually seems to sit higher is the lighthouse and the port gate. Other than those places, the houses that meet the same height as this villa seem to be other villas that are scattered throughout the city, and you can kind of assume that those all belong to different merchant princes. Walking up to the villa, there are 2 guards posted at the front entranceway. The villa itself is painted in a bright, kind of arcane blue color, and you can see that there are glyphs of different persuasions, I guess is probably the best word, carved into or painted onto the walls. As you approach, it looks like lots of wards of against evil and yeah. So it looks like the house is pretty warded heavily. against magic attacks and evil. And as you approach, the two bodyguards look down at you. They don't say anything, but they kind of cock an eyebrow.
I open my beak. It was like, information.
They look over and like scan the rest of you.
We have an appointment.
You don't look interesting enough to have an appointment here.
You want me to get interesting? And I go to reach for a weapon and just like.
I put my hand on her shoulder. I'm like, easy, girl, easy. We just got done with the undead. We don't need any more. We don't need innocent blood on our hands. We were invited by the Lord of the Manor to exchange information with him yesterday.
He nods. He says, "Come inside. We'll check your story." And they usher you inside, and the bright blue is just an exterior painting. The inside is definitely much more subtle colors. And he takes you into the entrance area, and you can see like crossed swords hanging on the walls, a tapestry, and then like braziers that are lit with blue flames that just seem to be burning perpetually. And he walks you through the entranceway and out into the garden. And he says, "Please make yourselves comfortable. I will go and see if what the master is available." And as he steps back into the house, 2 Minotaur guards step out into the garden.
Ooh, interesting.
With you guys. And they're just kind of standing there. They're not really doing anything. You get the feeling that they're more there to keep an eye on you and make sure that you don't try to get back into the house.
I've never seen a Minotaur before. I want to walk up to them.
Okay.
And just kind of like poke at the arm and like look up at him inquisitively. What are you?
And you get this huff from the snout of the Minotaur that just kind of, this hot breath rolls back over your face. And you just get the impression that he's not amused.
I make a cow noise at him.
Oh, God.
Roll me a charisma real quick.
A save or a normal?
A save.
Fuck. That one?
Mm-hmm. He's more amused than he is offended. And he actually gives out like a little chuckle.
Hey, I'm adorable. I love this.
And I think that's a good spot to end for this week. Before Fives gets put through a wall by a Minotaur. Yeah, so that was an interesting session. I had a lot of fun with it.
Minotaurs are cool.
Yeah, so I guess we'll do the rounds. Rojan, who are you and what do you do on the internet?
I'm Rojan Quest. I'm a variety caster here on Twitch and one of the co-DMs here on Dungeons and Distractions. All of my streams, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, are done in order to raise money for Extra Life, which we are slowly counting down to the game day on November 4th. Right now, a vast majority of my streams have been Divinity Original Sin multiplayer streams with Adalor, Azarin, and Tiny as we go through and murder hobo everything. And just started up our Fallout 4 playthrough, which is derpy as all hell.
All right. Mags, who are you and what do you do on the internet?
I am a hybrid magpie. I am primarily a creative caster on Twitch. We do channel art, emotes, overlays, character drawings, and I do play the occasional video game. Right now, I'm doing a blind playthrough of Rise of the Tomb Raider. I like it so far.
All right. And Spooner, who are you and what do you do on the internet?
I am Spooner Sloth. I am a variety-ish streamer here on Twitch. and I 5 days a week. I will stream on Sundays, but I've dedicated them to hanging out with these amazing people. And right now we are currently burning through Battle Chasers, which is freaking amazing game. I'm gonna be starting it again tomorrow. We're doing a giveaway for some Destiny Funko Pops and a giant replica of a Destiny Ghost. Well, not giant, but moderate size. And I'm definitely going to TwitchCon, so I hope anybody out there that is going to TwitchCon will come say hello.
Yeah. I'm Ipius. Or, I'm sorry. I forgot all about HP Fox. HP Fox.
A lot of people do. It's okay.
Who
Wow.
are you and what do you do on the internet?
I am HB Fox, and I'm the manager for Hunter Wild. We have a community-oriented variety cast here on Twitch. We're live roughly 7 days a week and do a lot of large-scale launch events for all sorts of games. And you can also find me here on this channel 3 days a week.
All right, I'm Impius. I run Dungeons and Distractions here with the help of Rojan. We have 4 shows a week currently. Monday nights we do office hours where I plan for this show. Tuesday nights we do Gibbering Mouthers, which is a 5th edition D&D game run by Rojan and played by too many fucking people. Wednesday nights is RPG Mixtape, where every month we pick a new game to play and a new guest star. This month we're playing All Flesh Must Be Eaten, and Not So Speedruns is joining us for that. So tune in on Wednesday for that. I'm going to throw zombies at people like I did tonight. It's weird. And then Sunday nights is Blood Moon Adventures, where we're doing Tomb of Annihilation and Adventures in Cholt. We are going to go on a raid. It's something we like to do at the end of our sessions to go show our love and support to other people in the community and around Twitch. So we're going to raid somebody we haven't raided before, but she does a lot of RPG stuff. Right now she is playing, what is the name of that game? Divinity Original Sin 2. So we're going to go raid Blue Jay. And if you guys haven't had a chance to just hang out in her chat, she is a fantastic caster. So what I want you to do, go ahead and open up her channel in another tab. Pre-type out the raid message. I heard there were dragons in here, and when you see me say we're here for the XP, I want you guys to just type it out once or twice and show her some support, and we will catch you guys next time. Thanks so much again for hanging out with us. It was an amazing night. I had a lot of fun, and we will see you guys next time.